going on, everybody? Six Scale Mafia here with Odyssey number, what are we on, 15? 15. 15. So, sorry, man, it's been rough, man. We're doing double duty, man. So, real quick, I just want to say what's up to everybody here on the panel. Desi, you got off lucky tonight, but not having to do the doubles, but welcome, man. I'm glad you're here. How you doing tonight, man?
Pretty good, man. Thank you for the invite. After that intro, I think you should open up with Live from Neo Tokyo. Love that intro, man. But good to be here.
Thank you, man. Hell yeah, as always. Fabio, this is your first time here, brother.
First time. We've tried and tried, never worked out, but here I am. Thank you for inviting me. Congratulations on the 1,000. It's awesome.
Thank you, brother. Hell yeah. Yeah, well, that was the great thing about switching to Saturdays, right? Because it's just the scheduling is just too... It sucked. It sucked for me being on Mondays. I'm going to wrap around it, though, and go to Dante. What's up, man?
What's up, Anthony? Thank you for the invite, my friend. Hello, everyone watching at home or wherever you are in the world. Congrats again, my friend, for the 1,000 subscribers. I know it was a milestone, so I can't wait to get my IG11 very soon. So, you know, I'm going to send you my... I'm sorry. Oh, shit. I should have said that online. But anyway, thank you, man, for the invite. You know, looking forward for an amazing show tonight.
Hell yeah, my friend. I'm glad you were able to make it again. Like I said, Saturdays, man, this is the way. This is the way, right? So, last but not least, though.
Hey.
Space Pimp himself. What's up, Jay? Brother Cousins.
What's up with you, man? Thanks for inviting me once again. And congratulations on the 1K. You deserve it. So like I say, you deserve it. You deserve it.
Hell yeah. No, I appreciate it, guys. It's yeah. I'm still speechless, man. Everybody's been so cool. And all the words everybody said, I don't know how to handle that. So
I sent you flowers. Did you get it?
No. Did you send me flowers, bro?
From Charlie, 1,000, like those eatables. This is
no,
1,000.
he didn't mean the rose. He meant bags of flour for you to make your own tacos.
Oh, dude, I would take that. I would take that for sure, man. I know how to do that shit. I'm out here in the South, man. Southwest.
Don't underestimate the power of the tacos.
Well, Fabio knows, man. I just send him pictures of tacos all the time. So I do. True story. True fucking story. Or he'll be like, I bet you're eating tacos, and then I send him a shot, and it's like live, and he's like, fucking called it. I'm like, yeah. So
oh my God.
Nah, it's fun, man. I'm gonna address the chat really quick, but I'm gonna preface this by saying I too have not really prepared for this evening, so it's gonna be kind of fun. We got a couple of topics, but we're all just gonna, you know, let our hair loose. You know, me and Desi especially, and you know, just kind of have a you know fun time. So
just wash mine.
Hey man. So real quick, I'm just gonna say, Andreas in here, congrats on the 1K. Thank you, my friend. Thank you seriously. TokuCollectorV up in the house. Sinister. Brother Cousins, of course. Let's get it. Weasel Figures, my brother Shane. What's up, my friend? He's between him and Mario, man. They got those beards, bro. They got those beards. Collector number 1 also up in the house. What's up, dude? Single songwriter. Hell yeah. Just like the Mando season finale, we see Book of Boba Fett. We see Mando just seen in 6 Scale Cantina finale, and now we're here with 6 Scale Mafia. See how that works? Hell yeah, man. Awesome, dude. Brett the movie guy as well. Ashley Chase, what's going on? Who else do we have up in here, man? I apologize for the delay. Like I said, we just double dutied. We were over on Aries, so shout out over there, 6 Scale Cantina. So double duty, bro, but we're troopers. We got this. Brandon, what happened to JB? I don't know. That's a good question. Jerry, what's up, everybody? Christian Cosby, get the hammies loose. Primetime reviews. Let's see, who else do we have? And Universal Key. Good evening, everyone. KJ Smith, Hugh, Louis Lebetz. What's up, everyone? Max's Geekdom. Hey, what's going on, my friend? About Future. What's up, dude? Soul Nightmare as well. Valiant Archer. We got Desi, Metamorphic Customs up in here as well. Awesome, Desi. I'm glad again that you were here. Philip the Fool, what's up, everyone? How you doing, buddy? Dockinator, what's up, dude? Dockinator, man. He's my metal brother, man. I tell you, man. Him and I, we got the same taste in music. Awesome, man. Metal for life. Sam Short, what's up, everyone? Congrats on the 1,000 subs, Anthony. Desi, loving your videos. Absolutely. If you guys don't already know, Desi, Metamorphic Customs, started his channel. He's showing off his crafted. videos on how he's creating his dioramas. Go check him out if you haven't. Links are in the description of all the videos for everybody here tonight. Uncommon Flex as well. What's up, everybody? Sorry guys, I'm really just trying to look. If I've missed you, I'm sorry. Clink as well. What's going on? Collector number 1. I'm sorry if I did. Fire Panel, awesome. Hell yeah, everybody here is amazing. Andre, hey all. Let's see, who else are we? Got just about everybody here. Maximum Rex, hello all. What is going on? We have Miles Dyson up in here. Hey everyone. Yes, I am familiar with the name. And Dante, don't forget to hit that like. Hell yeah, my friend. So yeah, man, fun, man. I'm glad everybody's here. We're having a good time. How are you guys feeling? You guys feeling all right? Do you need to stretch, or we're good?
Man, too much vodka. I feel like drunk right now.
You guys ready for downward dog or something? What do you want to do?
we're gonna do some fight. Hey, we can do the wheel and take off our shirts.
Stop.
Oh yeah, that was
saw that
was
last
something.
night.
That was something new, huh?
Wild.
Easy's already starting.
What
the
I
moves,
gotta
bro.
what I gotta do for subs? Unbelievable.
Look, I know, right? Take this short.
Hell yeah.
Oh, man.
What is going on with my chat, man? There we go. 808 Michigan Jedi. What's up? Aloha, guys. How you doing, bud? We'll see. Also up in here, it says, Dante, you need a chain link vest for that Grogu behind you.
I might do one.
You could go hit up some of the guys
Paper
that
clips.
make do the LARPs. And
I don't have vest scrub. I have paper clips.
that'll work. That'll work as well, man.
Oh, man.
Jesus Gutierrez, what's up? Evening, gents. Hell yeah. Yeah, man, it's great, man. So we were kind of unprepared, but kind of not. I think I could share this with you guys if we want to start off with the meat and potatoes here.
Man.
I know. Bad guys. I'm doing what I can. So here, let's do this. I'm gonna bring up a slide. And I'm talking about third-party figures. That's obviously the thumbnail for tonight. I just have a slideshow kind of going on here. Or I did. Here, what is going on with this, dude? Here.
That's Kingpin.
There we go.
Is that Soso Toys?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually a few of these are so-so toys. I have a slide. There's just a bunch of figures. I'm not really talking about, I mean, unless we do, we can talk obviously about specific, but there's a few in here.
Mm-hmm.
And I really wanted to talk about this, especially tonight, because Fabio, man, I'm going to start with you actually, because you have such a huge, vast collection of 6-scale figures, bro. I know you're into some third parties as well. I've seen them. I've checked them out on your collection tours, and on Instagram. What do you think? I mean, I know a lot of people have reservations. I've heard it all the time. I get messages all the time. People are so into Hot Toys as being like an official, 6-scale giant that they are. They often wonder, are third party figures, are they safe? Are they worth it? Is it a problem? What are your thoughts, man?
Just like everything else, everything's a risk. Even Hot Toys are a risk. You could get a crappy figure that comes broken, you know what I mean? And, plenty of people have. The thing with third-party figures is you got to figure out what it is that you like and if you like how they made it, period. Just, we're talking about head sculpt alone. Obviously, then you got your accessories. And the one thing you're not going to know or find out about until you have it in hand is the body, whether it's, you got the articulation, whether it's, flimsy, whether it's solid, all these things you got to think about. Me personally, when it comes to which third-party figures do I get, I collect either something that I like or something that's going to complete the line for me. So third-party figures are 99% of what they're used for, to complete a line. They don't really give you a main character, very rare.
Right.
These pictures you're looking at now is an arts figure. What do you call it? Bane figure that they made. And Art Figures is a very, very good company. Been around for many, many years. They don't make a lot of stuff, but what they do make is always really good. Really, really. So again, it depends. Going back to the Soso Toys Kingpin, that figure looks amazing. Soso Toys is the one company, the one third-party company right now that, in my opinion, when they show you a prototype, the figure comes out just like it. Period. It just does. You have the Gambit that they just came out with. If you look at the prototype and you look at the figure, it's the exact same thing. So Toys is coming for Hot Toys 1,000%. Yeah, then you got other companies that are a little bit less quality. You know, again, they're very helpful to complete lines. But, you know, you also have people who want whatever figure they came out with because they like how it looks, or they like, you know, they just like it. For, you know, they'll buy it for whatever reason. So, but third-party figures are very important in collecting for that reason, at least to me.
Well, that's a good point. Like, and I know we've kind of touched on that before on previous streams, that they fill that niche where you want to, like you're saying, complete a line, so to speak, right? Like the Black Order is a perfect example, right? To like fit with like Thanos. Like Hot Toys is not going to do it. If other third parties do, they you know, kind of put them, even in some of them, they're okay to just kind of background characters in the collection that give you that full scene that you're looking for.
And the thing is that they don't have to be, you know, a Hot Toys quality figure to buy it, because it's just to complete the line. You know what I mean? So that's why you don't expect so much from these third-party figures. You know, don't forget they're usually between, you know, 180 and like, you know, 220, you know, depending on what it is. But that's what they're for. I feel like they're to complete, you know, a line.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, but it's crazy, like, because you bring up Toys, right? And maybe I'll redirect this to Dante, because I know you've reviewed some of these third parties. Do you feel that Toys is strong enough on their own to actually roll a line out instead of Fabio's point of like filling a line? Because I mean, we've seen they're doing like all these Titans, for example. I mean, you think they're strong enough to actually support and do like a full-fledged like IP on their own?
Well, the thing with Sasso Toys, I have actually the Cajun card dealer, which is Gambit, and you know, I was talking to Fabio before it was released, and I was saying, "Damn, this looks amazing, man! This looks." I'm not into X-Men or anything like that, but the figure itself looks really good. The fact that this is a limited edition make my decision much easier, so I got one. I mean, compared to the prototype, it is exactly the same, and Soso Toys tends to be that good, you know, based on the figures that I've seen before. So, you know, yes, you know, it is not licensed. Of course, it's a third party figure, so they can, you know, maybe they don't have the same quantity in terms of orders compared to Hot Toys, for example. So that's why probably the reason why it is a good, uh, uh, um, you know, final product, you know, compared to the prototype. If they can get a license, you know, to do those characters that maybe Hot Toys doesn't want to do, or because they're not interested in doing, that could be a good exposure for Soso Toys in terms of people getting licensed figures regardless of the character, right? Look what happened with the classic Loki, for example, right? Soso Toys did one, Hot Toys teased another one. They haven't revealed it yet, but you know where they're going. You know, the same thing happened with another third party company with Loki, President Loki. Boom, they did one. So, you know, I think there are good third party companies, but also there are horrible third party companies. Like the figures are trash, you know, or really bad, you know. And again, you know, you cannot blame them because, you know, that's why they have a license. That's why they're third party. But Soso
Right.
Toys is really on top of their game compared to Toys Era, for example, another great company. You know how you know when the company is good, when the value of the figure still maintains or increases over time. That's the case with Toys Era. That's the case with Soso Toys. Obviously not Hato's level, but pretty much there.
Yeah, I'd agree.
One thing he mentioned. Let me just
Yeah, go ahead.
point out something that he said. He compared, and this is what Soso Toys is doing, in my opinion, on purpose. Sideshow came out with their Gambit, and out of nowhere, Soso Toys came out with theirs. My opinion is, I feel like they're showing people we could do this better than they can. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's why they come out of nowhere with these figures, because of that. They want to show people, oh, they came out with this. This is how we're doing it, and they're always better. You know, so I feel like they're letting us know. Listen, this is what we're able to do for you guys. You know, pay attention.
And the funny thing is, like, if you compare the Sideshow one with the Soso toys, the Sideshow one looks like actually the third party one.
Yeah.
You know, it's sad to say, but it's the truth. I mean,
Yep.
even the detail on the suit and everything looks much better on Soso toys.
And the fact that it's licensed and it comes out like that, it's so depressing. Because then, what is the point of the license if you're not even going to care about the product? You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, Sideshow
Absolutely
is so hit and miss. I mean, look at those figures you were just talking about, the Gambit, and then look at Michael Myers, which was awesome from Sideshow.
Yeah.
It's like,
Absolutely.
it's all over the place.
Absolutely. We have I can never roll the tongue right with you. It's or see, I can't do it. You know who can? You know, Lael can do it, right? There you go. So I got that for you. She says, "Hi, gents. I've been happy with third-party figures I've purchased. Glad there are a few other companies out there providing competition with more reasonable prices." And you're right. And Desi, I want to follow back in there because you were just kind of bringing on that point there. That what are your thoughts on that? Because I did kind of cut you off there. I apologize.
No, you didn't cut me off. I was interjecting. I'm so glad. I agree with everyone. I'm glad that there are these companies out there that provide this, right? I know they're on license. That's another topic, but I'm just glad that they're out there to provide this. And they do some like great jobs most of the time. You know, it may not be to the standard of Hot Toys. Some companies may be approaching it, right? For me, I only have one third-party figure because I kind of I'm the other way where Fabio was saying like, okay, they're there to complete the line. I think that's one of the reasons they're great. Because I have a budget and because I have limited space, that's kind of where I tell myself it's like I'm not in the mindset of completing a line. Like I don't need to complete a line in my mind. Like mine is just like I'm getting the best figure. That's why I didn't get, speaking of third parties, even though they're not third party, Sideshow's Grievous.
Right.
There's a lot of people saying like, yeah, but he's the only representation of 6 scale. And in my opinion, just mine, I'm like, so like I don't need, if it's not going to be good enough, like I don't need one. It's like,
right. So so do you feel that if it's a third party that it's already like not good enough, like in that standard, or and that's not what you know what I'm just wondering, like if you feel some of that, is there a little bit of that there?
It's hard to say from someone who doesn't have third-party figures. I don't think I'm like in the right place to give an opinion. Last time I saw one in person, like a new one, besides the one I have, was back in 2019 when I was in Hong Kong. Like I saw some in person, and I think a lot of them are good. Back then, I didn't think that they were as good as Hot Toys just from looking at it, but they're really darn good, and they're probably better than the price you're getting them for. So I think that's a lot to say, but are they as good as Hot Toys in the packaging and the actual product? I don't know, man. Like maybe I haven't gotten one recently either. So, I
fair
almost
point.
don't
I
want
mean,
to say.
without a real frame of reference, I get this.
Yeah.
You don't. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Before I go to Brother Cousins, though, I'm curious because Philip the Fool's asking, or saying he loves the So-So Toys Gambit, but taking off the hands makes him nervous. Feels like it's going to break eventually. Do you guys have any tips for taking off the hands?
Be
do
careful.
you, Fabio? I'm wondering because you
Be
do
careful.
mess
Be
around with
careful. Be careful.
Yeah.
You just got to be
It's
careful.
tough.
You can't be yanking and pulling and just be careful.
You can use I mean, if you want to be swapping constantly, you will want to use a hair dryer. So, so that will be the much easier way. But if you don't have to switch the hands, I will recommend not to do it because you might break the peg.
Yeah.
Even though the peg, and that's what I like about Soso Toys, the pegs are actually, you feel stronger compared to the Hot Toys one.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if this is just me and maybe my impression, but, or you can just kind of like, take some extra plastic from the peg, just little by little, just a little bit, just to make sure that it fits perfectly.
Yeah.
But again, it's at your own risk, right? You will have to be super careful. Yeah.
Also, using the twist method helps a little bit. When you're just twisting the fist, like, or twisting the hand off little by little and then pull, like just being real gentle. And like Fabio was saying, just be careful. That's the biggest thing. Just, I mean, take your time at doing it. Don't be in a rush doing it. Just really take your time to do it.
Yeah,
Right.
that's kind of what I would say too. Same thing, because some of them are a pain, right? Like, I mean, even Hot Toys. Like, I was having like I had just gotten the Shore Trooper grunt. I was even live. I was doing it live on Instagram, just kind of messing around with it because he just came in the mail, and I mean, I was having a nightmare trying to put his fist back on, like right out of the box. Like, so sometimes they're tricky. But those are all great tips. And honestly, at the end of the day, yeah, it's just slow and take your time and be careful, because it is kind of a pain, man. It is. But Jay, yeah, I am wondering though. I mean, because I don't know, do you have third-party figures at all?
Right now I only have one third-party figure, and that is the Space Wizard. And I like it. I like it a lot. But I don't like the rest of the Dark Order that they've come up with. But
Right.
yeah, I'm keeping that one. And that one's good. And it's a couple. I mean, there's a couple on this list. In these slides right here that I want. I definitely want that Kingpin. That looks badass. So I definitely gonna have some in my collection. I mean, me personally, I am a Hot Toys purist. I collect mostly Hot Toys. But there's a lot of Hot Toys. They do a thing where they just leave money on the table all the damn time. And then these third-party companies like So Toys and Toys Era are knocking it out of the damn park. So, I mean, look at that red hood. That's just,
Yeah,
I
this
mean,
red hood looks.
that looks phenomenal. Who cares if it's called the Red Knight? It's great. So, I mean, and I think Fabio was saying this earlier. Sometimes you just want to get something to kind of like fill in a collection. Like, I mean, I have all the Guardians of the Galaxy, but I don't have a Mantis. But so if a third-party company, I'm not sure. I think a third-party company did do a Mantis, but if I wanted one,
Super Duck.
Yeah. So I can get that and then just fill it in, and I think that, and it's serviceable, because I mean, I guess Hot Toys doesn't feel, the appeal to make or they looking at it like, at the end of the day, they're a company. They want stuff that's going to sell. And just because we want it to fit a collection, it's going to be a lot for them to produce it, make a box art for it, distribute it, put it out, pay the license fees for the actors likeness. It's a lot that goes into it, when a third party can just jump in and do it. And then it's good for us because we get it at a cheaper price. So I know some people feel bad about it, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't get it, or it's stealing, or whatever. I mean, the fact of the matter is, Hot Toys leaves money on the table. And if you leave money on the table, there's going to be somebody else to come and pick up that money and put it down. And this is where they fit in. So it works. But are you getting the quality that you're going to get from Hot Toys? And in most cases, no. But So-So's getting damn close.
And it's funny that you mentioned that, because that's a perfect example. Mantis, if Hot Toys were to make her, and we saw her displayed, what can they give us with her? Besides hands, what else did she do? You know what I mean? So they could give us the light up antennas, which would be cool, and then that's it, only hands. So how would Hot Toys, give us that and give us a price for a figure with 2 pairs of hands? It wouldn't really work. So I think that's why they don't bother with some figures. But I feel like that's like the only one that would not work with.
What about the Batman Forever Robin from Hot Toys? It comes with like hands, right? Does he even come with a staff or anything, or
no staff? But I think it's just hands so far. Yeah, hands so far.
Yeah, but it's a good point. Like,
I was going to
say, give us.
And he's
yes, the package, yes,
yes.
But I'm pretty sure that they're gonna add Batman's weapons to him also, just to give you something,
just to fill it out,
something,
Another company, real quick. I used to have this figure before, Young Rich Toys, Miles Morales. That actually was pretty good figure.
I heard
it came with a lot of accessories. I had to return it because I had some issues with one of the hands, and when I wanted to exchange it, they didn't have it. They couldn't exchange it because they were sold out. So I have to return it and get my money back. And then right after that, it was announced by Hot Toys. They announced it. So
I have that figure.
But yeah, that
so you do have
this one, right? Or the other one. I think it is.
Dope.
Yeah.
Man, so much crap on these pages.
Yeah,
Well, I was trying to.
Young
there we
Rich
go.
is a hit or miss too. Their scales are usually kind of off. The bodies are kind of cheap. I mean, but they make figures that nobody else is gonna make, so that's why I buy them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That looks pretty
Yeah.
cool. That's
Yeah, no,
nice.
It does look
that's it.
pretty
That's
good.
it. I had to buy 2 of those so I could display one with the Spider-Man suit and then one with this outfit.
Oh, just like
wow.
that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And he comes with Jordans, right?
Oh yeah, they
Yeah.
all his figures come with a pair of Jordans. Yep.
Oh wow,
cool.
that's nice.
Yeah, I remember seeing this come out, but I didn't. I passed. I just.
Yeah, Young Rich is okay. It's one of those companies that hit or miss with them as well.
Well, Andreas is wondering. I guess I'm gonna hit you up on that one, Fabio, because you would probably know, I think, more than any of us on the panel. He says, do you think you have to pre-order third party, or does it depend on the popularity?
It depends on a lot because you don't know how much the company's making. You don't know how fast you're going to sell out. Sometimes you do get a chance to, after they're released and start shipping, they'll last maybe a month or so, but then that's it. You know what I mean? And then you got to go check eBay and pay, price and a half for it. But so it depends. If you really think that you're going to like it, just pre-order it just to be safe. And if you don't like it, you can always sell it, wait till it sells out, and then make your money back.
I would agree, because that's kind of one of the reasons why I don't have a lot of third parties myself, because I see them, but I don't have the money right now. And I've noticed that there's, at least with in comparison to Hot Toys, there's definitely a narrower window, right? I mean, and so I was thinking, if you're absolutely right. If you like it, maybe if you're interested in the character, I should say, right, make the purchase now if you can, because they are typically cheaper than Hot Toys. And then if you don't like it, you can definitely double your money on that, because the window's so small, and then people are looking for it. And I've noticed that, and that's kind of what has deterred me to an extent. Not so much the iffiness of, oh, it's a third party, but the windows are typically smaller. They're definitely not a 16-month wait. Forever payment plans and things of that nature, right?
Yeah, that's another thing. They come so much quicker than Hot Toys. So much quicker.
Yeah, and also if it's a limited edition, you might want to consider getting it. Like that's why I got the Soso Toy one, the Gambit, because it was limited edition. I think they made only 450 copies.
450, yeah.
450. So, I'm assuming that when sold out, because the figure is a good looking one. I mean, it's really good one. You can get your money back if you sell at one point, right? So that's a good. Again, when you buy anything, you're looking to keep it, right? But in the future, if you want to sell something because, hey, you want to downsize your collection because of space or whatever, at least you don't lose money. You can sell it for the same price you paid, or maybe make extra money.
Right.
So that's the case with this limited edition one.
And once they give you a release date, it's very, very rare they delayed. They're very, very, very delayed. I haven't seen a delay, and if there has been, it was never that long. So that's another good thing about them. They keep their schedule.
Now, see, that's my problem, is I actually forgot I had the Cajun card dealer, the Gambit, and I have an invoice right now that I can still pay. It says it's past due, and it's through KG Hobby, and I hope I could just click it and they're gonna, you know what I mean? I don't know. I was like, oh shit, because it was like by the end of January and it's a little into February now, so I don't know but I do have my invoice still. I have to finish paying it, so I think I'm just gonna hit it because I really wanted that figure. I hope they're not gonna be like, hey, we're out, we're gonna refund. You know what I mean? You don't know. It's.
I'm surprised you didn't get it. You're a big X-Men fan.
I am. Well, it's just it was a money situation.
Oh well, yeah.
To be honest, yeah.
Of course, yeah.
So, I'd already recently picked up a couple other figures, and it's the budget. I'm not. I don't have a lot of money,
I know.
So,
hey, I'm an
you know
X-Men fan, and I didn't get it right, but that's I use the excuse. It's like, it's third party, so I don't.
Yeah, it's rough.
I feel better now.
It looks amazing. I mean, and I'm not trying to trash on Sideshow, but they put out that X-Men Gambit, and then I saw this Cajun card dealer, and I was like, yo, there's
the
no
jacket.
question.
The jacket alone made the whole figure. That whole jacket from Soso Toys made the entire figure. That's how good that jacket is.
It's amazing, and you have it in hand. So I mean,
like what was Sideshow thinking? Like
Yeah.
seriously, it looks like a fucking call him Furious George. It's ridiculous.
Hey, they're old. I've got the old Sideshow statue, so I'm good on Gambit. But they
Well,
did good
look,
with the
I mean,
statue,
I'll say
not the
I
figure.
know
they
someone-
do good
I
with
know-
comic statues.
Yeah.
I know someone who has 3 replacements of this Gambit Sideshow. 3. And he sent me pictures in a video. The figure, the body, it's the body. It's trash. Everything's loose, nothing stays, everything's wobble. Like it was. I was
Jesus.
like, and this is his 3rd. He's going on his 4th.
D-Rock.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. And look. So I'll tell you guys a little story on that. And it is what it is. It's just my personal experience. I kept the Cyclops Sideshow, the Jim Lee 90s style Cyclops. I had bought the astonishing variant that they did, and I returned it. I had the Wolverine. I got rid of it. Like they're just, for me, I'm with you on that, Fabio. They're just, the quality's not there. I think the only one that looks pretty good was the Magneto, but even then, I felt like if I was to keep him, I would body swap him.
The body
And
looks
that's
scrawny.
a problem.
It looked really scrawny on that.
Yeah, and that's an issue for me.
Yeah.
If I have to buy a figure, or if I purchase a figure and I have to switch out the bodies, or I have to do these alterations to make it what I think it should be, then I don't want to buy it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
But
Yeah, it
another
does.
thing that they do, though, it's crazy because, again, they have a license. Look at Hot Toys. Hot Toys has their license, and they take full advantage of this license. Sideshow has a license, and they'll give you a fucking plain base with nothing on it. Like not even a sticker on it. Like, really?
Yeah.
$220? You can't give me a decal or something on the base?
Yeah.
Like, what do you know what I mean? Like, it just shows that, like, why are you even bothering making figures if this is the effort you put into them? You know what I mean? Like, what's the point?
Exactly. I totally agree. I mean, it's almost to the point where I want So to just take over for Sideshow. They really do. But I mean, for us, yeah, we're definitely, it'd be licensed. We would have to pay a higher price for those figures. So it is like a toss-up. We're getting real great quality because, am I mistaken? Did the So Gambit cost more than the Cajun Card Dealer?
See, I don't even know how much it was.
No, I think the you know what, you may
I
be
put
right.
down a deposit on
I would
So-So.
think that Sideshow's one is more expensive.
No,
because
Sideshow's
of the
more
license.
expensive.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
Sideshow is more expensive, but quality-wise, Soso is much better. But talking
Yeah.
about Sideshow, just to be fair with them, they do really good horror figures. You know,
Yes.
I have
And you can speak from personal experience on that.
right, and I do have pretty much the ones that they release, which is the Freddy, the Jason, the Leatherface,
Yeah, love it.
Jason Voorhees, so they did a really good job with those. Yes, the body is a bit weird,
Yeah.
but they look pretty good.
The Michael Myers is really good too.
Michael Myers looks good. Hold on.
I got on the wait list for Michael Myers after I saw Dante's review because he said, "Oh, it's actually pretty good." So I got on the wait list and it converted last month, and I got him, and it's a great figure. Like it's basic, the base is killing me, but like it's awesome.
Yeah, no,
nice.
I have the Freddy. I have Leatherface from Sideshow. I have a few of them too, and it is what it is. But
Yeah,
like those figures, like I'm okay with getting a plain base. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But like a Marvel, like a, you know what I mean? X-Men. Like you want something cool. At least an X on the base. Give me something.
Right.
yeah. The base is like $10 on Amazon or something.
Yeah,
you know
it's
what I mean?
like he's like, here you go,
it's
suck
like, all right,
it.
guys.
Yeah, but I mean, but the figure, I really
figure's
like
awesome.
them. I mean, the figure is really good. The sculpting. I mean, it looks nice. So that's the thing with Sideshow. They can do really good figures, but then, that's why I would like Hot Toys to do horror, because look what they did
Yes.
with Pennywise. Shit,
Yes.
if they can do, like, just imagine doing Jason, doing different variations of Jason or different variations of Freddy Krueger, with the long arms, like even Leatherface. the Jason Voorhees or the Ghostface. Oh man, they can expand so much. Even the Nun, for example, or the Pinhead.
Hmm.
You know?
Yeah,
They really
that would be
could.
cool.
They
Yeah.
could.
Especially Pinhead. That would be sick if Hot Toys did
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hell yeah. Real
Speaking of
quick, I just
third
wanna-
party, I was sorry. I was just gonna say real quick. Speaking of
go
third
ahead.
party, maybe if they did more of those, I would probably get a couple more. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Um,
I love horror, and honestly, I was looking for Hot Toys horror figures. The only one obviously was Pennywise, which they nailed it. I mean, they knocked it out of the park. So the next option was Sideshow, and I was very happy with the sculpt. Yes, it is not 100% in terms of maybe some lack of weathering, some lack of accessories. Maybe the base is just very plain, but at least it's licensed. You're getting something licensed, right?
Mhm.
And it is a good representation of the character. So just to be fair, is it the best quality? Obviously not.
yeah, Universal Monsters Hot Toys would be grails. Yeah. I see. It would be
Agreed.
it would be
Love
really
that.
cool if they can
Love
go
it.
down that
Love
that
it.
path. But I think we all know that Hot Toys is like I think they got too much on their plate right now.
Yeah, Trick or Treat Studios are also very good as well.
Yes.
But,
Yes.
but because they actually were the ones who did the Fabio, correct me if I'm wrong. They did the actual helmet, right? Or the mask for Halloween, right? Trick or Treat Company was they are the official ones.
Yep.
Yep.
They did this guy too.
Tucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, whether or not they'll do it, I don't. I think Pennywise was like an anomaly of sorts, and it's kind of taken back to what you guys were saying earlier. It's that they, Hot Toys will do it just to show that they can do it and they can do it better. You know what I mean? And that was kind of the case with Pennywise when QMX put theirs out, and then they were like, oh, you know what I mean? Oh, you want to do that? And they saw that it was really good, and so they were like, no, we're going to do it. And that's partly why it took so long, because they don't do horror stuff, and they didn't really care about getting it released. You know what I'm saying?
So they just did it for bragging rights, is what you're saying?
Yeah, they really did.
That's what I think 100%. They just did that to show us this is what we're capable of. Forget this company. Look at this.
Wow.
100%. Because they was like, they came out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like, why are they making a comic style Gambit out of, like, just for no reason? You know what I mean? Just as Sideshow makes theirs.
Exactly. Like I think I'll take a look here in a minute, but I'm pretty sure I still have the image somewhere on my computer. But the gist of it was, they QMX was showing off at a convention the Pennywise, and it was cool. It was really good looking. I'm sure I still have my photo somewhere. And they one of the reps, like a convention rep, brought Howard Chan was over there and brought him over to the QMX booth, and he saw it in hand, and that's when he was like, oh no. You know what I mean? Because he wants to be up here. You know what I'm saying? So they're like, no, we're gonna do it. And then they did their version. Obviously, that's the one we all know. Then have Dante has. But that's why it took forever. Because it was like a kind of a flex, right? And they weren't. Mm-hmm. There was no real deadline. It's just like, no, we're gonna do it. We'll get the. You know what I'm saying? So it's. And I guess that comes down to competition and kind of what's going on with third party as well. Like people in the chat have said, and we've also said that that competition's benefits all of us. Like we all win on that, right? Because if somebody's getting up to Hot Toys level, then that's going to make not only is that good for us because we're going to get them because they're damn good, but then it makes Hot Toys go, oh shit, we need to step up our game now. You know what I mean? Because there's other people trying to take the hill, from us in that respect. So it's good kind of seeing that, and that goes with anything in life, any kind of product out there. The competition is we benefit from it, right? Unless the prices start skyrocketing, which they've slowly been kind of going up, right? Which kind of sucks. I don't know, like I think Fabio mentioned it. The what's that girl's name from Black Widow?
Oh, Black Widow.
Yelena?
Yeah, like they charging quite a bit for her, and there's like nothing to it.
It's just I know people don't want to hear it, but there were shortages. There still are shortages. The price for everything, not just toys and materials, went up, and that's not even touching shipping, right? And the shipping crisis and the price of containers, and we've talked about it before. The price of containers, what, and on a good day is $30,000 or even more, depending on who you are. Comparing it to what was it before that, anywhere between 800 to 1,800. That's ridiculous. Like, but hey, so putting shipping aside, besides that, there's shortages and price went up for everything. So sucks.
That is true. But I mean, it's an interesting topic to discuss anyway, just because, you know, there are a lot of us who do pick up those third parties, and I know a lot of people. I don't know about you guys, but I get a lot of people asking those questions as well. Like, you know, is it worth picking them up, or this or that, or, you know, how do I feel about it? I know some people, like, you know, even you had mentioned that they feel a little weird too, just out of the principle that, you know, they're unlicensed or things of that nature. But I mean, I think, you know, we all forget that, and we all know, but Hot Toys started that way anyway. You know, that's my argument. Because Hot Toys started as a third party company, you know, doing unlicensed things. So, you know, take it how you will on that respect, right? I mean, now they're licensed, sure, but that could be the same. We could be kind of following history repeating themselves, right? With like so toys. I mean, I think, and I don't think they should get a license, but I don't think that they don't deserve it. I like the fact that they don't have a license, because those prices would go up and there would be restrictions, and no, we don't want you to make that like a bloody kingpin. That's not happening.
Right.
Yeah.
I like the fact that they're kind of rebels right now, that they kind of work outside of, you know, those industry, I guess I want to say industry confines. So it is kind of cool because they can kind of do what they want. Like what you're saying, they can have a bloody ass kingpin. I mean, that looks gross and hideous and dope as fuck at the same time. And you know, I don't know if we would get that level from Hot Toys. I mean, Hot Toys maybe, well, let's clean them up a little bit, or we're not going to do we're not going to do a bloody version and a clean version because it wouldn't financially make sense for us. But you know, they're like, fuck it, we're going to do it. We're going to put it out, and here it is. And that's cool. I mean, when I saw that thing, I was like, damn, I need that in my collection. And it made me not only want to just get that one. I'm looking at the Daredevil with the black outfit.
The blind vigilante, I think.
The blind vigilante one. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get, because they go together perfectly. So, you know, that there you go. You starting a little collection with that. So I'm glad that they're kind of the third party. Like I said, they're like the cool kids now. They're outside of the natural conform, you know. So they don't have to
we're just gonna make this. Nobody can tell us what to do, and this is gonna be awesome. And you feel like that's gonna get taken away, or even in the sense like with Hot Toys is like even with Hot Toys, I think they have that would happen with So-So, right? They'd end up having maybe too much, and then they wouldn't be able to complete things, or you know, have to go a certain way because of, you know, contracts or whatever they've established that's official. So yeah, I agree with you. They're kind of like, I think
that's one of the things we're missing from Hot Toys, because Hot Toys now has become let's face it, they become like the Disney company. Everything they make is either Star Wars or Marvel. Star Wars or Marvel. They'll do a couple one-offs here and there, but mainly it's Star Wars, Marvel. And I mean, it's to the point now DC is damn near one-off because they don't do that much DC. They do it, but then they don't do it. They do Dark Knight because they know Dark Knight there's still a lot of love there for that Dark Knight. And you know, I'm sure this new movie that's coming out, I mean, that they're saying is going to be straight bananas. They're probably going to go deep in that line too, and hopefully that'll kind of revigorate the whole DC line, and we'll start getting more DC stuff. But it's mainly Marvel, DC, Star Wars, a little bit of DC, and then you get a couple of one-offs here and there. Whereas back in the day, you were getting everything. You were getting Terminator, you were getting Aliens, you were getting shit. You were getting, was it Full Metal Jacket or Platoon? You were getting Platoon.
Platoon, yeah.
Yeah,
I got those too.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
and
jeez.
I just want to piggyback of what Jay said about the Batman. I saw the newest trailer, and I was kind of sold on that one. I was not 100% on the first one, but then when I saw the second one, then I saw this clip of Bruce Wayne looking at the car that was going through a building, and then a guy came all hooked up with some bombs or whatever. I was like, damn, that looks super dark, and I just can't wait to see how they can explore the other villains. Right, the Riddler looks very creepy, Catwoman. So I think that we're gonna see more figures, and I think it could be a good opportunity for Hot Toys to get more DC figures for fans, and this right here, I mean, looks really good. Obviously you can make up the likeness, but hopefully they release a proper product pictures, with the accessories and everything. I'm very happy with this, man. And let me tell you, I'm not a big fan of the guy who's gonna be doing the portraying Batman just because of the Twilight movies. But I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna go to watch this movie, and I have a feeling it's gonna be a good movie.
I think so. I mean, and that's kind of why we segued into that, because how Jay had brought that up here, that it's weird. He's a good actor, but I understand, right? There's that stigma there of the Twilight stuff and everything. But those trailers looked really, really, really good, right? And then when Hot Toys dropped this, it's like I don't even know the character yet. I mean, I know it's Batman, obviously, but even just this one picture tease looks really good.
If you're watching these trailers and you're thinking Twilight, you need a new brain. Like, what are you thinking?
Well, of course. I just
know what I mean. Like that's so
with...
done. That's been over for years. Like he's not even like nobody thinks about that anymore.
I do.
Well, Dante does.
I'll say this though. I love the trailers. I love the direction. I think Pattinson is going. I think he's going to do a great job with it. I don't like the costume. I'm just gonna really say I really don't. Out of all the Batman costumes, I think they will improve it. I think this is a good, like a restart, like a reboot for Batman costume. I think when they do the second one will be better, or he'll get a better costume throughout the movie because it is year one.
I was gonna say this is like the Batman Begins suit, so it's the first suit, but yeah, he's got to upgrade eventually, and apparently it's gonna be 3 movies, so he's definitely getting new suits.
It's the year 2 suit in this movie, but I actually love this suit. I think it's an interpretation of like Arkham Batman suit. I even like the face. Well, the only thing I don't like is the ears. They're a little skinny. I know that I'm nitpicking at this point after saying I like it, but but like the rest of it is like I think it looks awesome.
This says, "Oh, I love this here," but it looks like shit.
Yeah, I mean, except for the fact that it looks like shit. But,
No, but you know what? It's funny because you mentioned the game, and it does look like the video game. And again, I haven't played, but I saw my son playing it. And also maybe it's just me, but it kind of reminds me a little bit the 1960s Batman, the Adam West, the costume, right?
Yep.
This
maybe it's just me, but because of exactly that part. So they wanted to maybe put some classic into it, but to me, the best Batman costume outfit, whatever you want to call it, is Michael Keaton's Batman. To me, by far the best.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
I will say, can I pull this up? I'm trying to look for it, but I think there's nostalgia there, though, right? Do you think that's what it is? Because I mean, Keaton's really rubbery, right?
It was terrible. If you look at behind the scenes pictures, it's like looking at behind the scene pictures of Darth Vader's suit in Episode 4. Like it was falling apart, like it was rubbery, But if you look at the Hot Toys, right, which is like the ideal version of that suit, like the design was awesome. It's my favorite, right? But yeah, if you look up behind the scenes pictures of 1989, filming, it's like falling apart. It's latex.
Yeah. I love the fact about that costume that he's wearing Nikes.
yeah. That's awesome.
But they do have a lot of potential for this. Sorry,
no, go ahead.
I think the Hot Toys has a lot of potential with this DC, because not everything is Star Wars and Marvel. I think we all agree to that. They need to split it up a little bit more. I like the fact that we're gonna see Cyborg this year. Same with the black suit Superman with the Nightmare Batman. I actually was the one who canceled my pre-order of the Nightmare Batman and asked me why, and then regretted it because I wanted to get it and it was so expensive after that. But then I'm just gonna have some hopes that eventually it will be reissued. Then when the Justice League came and nothing happened, I was thinking, okay, that's done. But then when they announced the Snyder Cut, I was like in hoping that it's gonna happen, and it did happen. But now they're reissuing pretty much the whole Dark Knight line with the Tumbler, the Batpod. They have the Batman. They also have Catwoman. I actually got not too long ago Two-Face, which looks sick, by the way. So you know, I think we're gonna see Heath Ledger. I think we're gonna see Bane because they need to pretty much finishing off the line, but they need to do more DC stuff. I'm not a DC fan, to be honest with you. I do have Justice League figures. I used to have the '89 Batman, the Joker, which I regret selling it, but that's a different story. But yeah, I think we need more DC for sure.
I couldn't agree more with that with Hot Toys and in general. Like I don't know what's going on with them. I don't know if it's a situation where Marvel's paid more money for what I mean, the deals they've worked out with them, so they're doing more Marvel stuff and they still have some DC, but they're like, you know what I mean? It could be just a business thing where they cater a little bit more to the Disney side, and or it could just be that because of that they have so much on their plate that it's really hard to get those DC figures out. You know what I mean? Because it is, right? We've seen that. We don't get a lot of DC.
It could be.
It exists, but
I mean, it could be. I think it is. At the end of the day, it is a business thing. I was just gonna say it's probably like how much movie. This is where Hot Toys is right now. It's like how much movie how much money did the movie make? Because that's what's going to dictate how many casual Hot Toys buyers are going to buy more of our product, right? That's why now, before this new Batman movie is even out, you're already starting to see promotional marketing behind the figures you're going to make and the vehicles and everything, right? Because it's Batman, unless it's terrible.
No. Yeah, exactly. And Jay had mentioned this, and I had to bring this up, man. I know this isn't 6 scale related, but I just wanted to show this to you, man. I don't know if you've seen this Prime 1 Batman. And this is the suit.
Badass. That's badass.
I mean, dude. So that's what I'm saying. Like, badass. You're like, I don't know about that suit. I don't like it. But I wanted to show you this and to see what your thoughts were because, dude, this may actually be something I pick up.
Yeah, that looks bad. I don't know. Damn, that looks better to me.
And they have the Jim Lee face too.
Yeah.
Like,
this is definitely not like the movie, right? This is just another like a concept type of thing.
No, it's the movie one, but just in case you don't like Robert Pattinson, they give you 3 different heads.
Yep.
One of them which kind of looks like him.
No wonder, because he's a bit bulkier too.
That's what's working for me. The bulk of it.
Yeah, because that's the suit in the movie.
Prime 1, right?
But he looks a little beefier, obviously, in the statue. And again, you can swap the head if you don't want the Robert Pattinson head. You know what I'm saying? But I mean,
that looks good. I gotta admit, that looks good.
Like, that's why I'm saying I think this is gonna be suit wise. I think this suit looks pretty good. I know it's a little hard to in the movie trailers, but I think like that's if it's done right, I think it's gonna be a really good Batman movie.
Yeah.
I wonder why none. Sorry, go ahead.
No. I'm sorry, Dante. Go.
I'm real quick. I don't know why they did it like that. Just going off, not taking the likeness of the movie, just kind of like going something different. I thought it was like a concept type of thing when I saw it the first time.
I think they were going for his likeness. That second sculpt that we just saw, the Prime 1, I think they were. They just didn't. It's like beefier, like not only in his body but in the face too.
Right.
I don't know, but I still have the same question you do. I'm not sure.
But it looks good though. It looks actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when I saw that, I was like,
that looks damn good.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna share this one more time, and then we can move on from that. But again, because Dante and everybody here, we know Josh over at Comic Concepts, and that's when I first saw it because that's a pretty good price, man, for a Masterline Prime 1.
Oh yeah, real
So,
good.
like
That's a damn
realistically,
good
right? And
price.
it's second quarter of next year, so I was like, this might be something. It's hard. I can't really show the images, here on this site. It's kind of a zoom, but we looked at it. But you know what I'm saying? For less than 1,500, guys, I'm like, dude, I might have to get into this game, and it's third scale. So I mean, that thing is like,
I recommend it. The only reason I'm not getting this one, because this is like a centerpiece to your collection, even if it's the one statue that you have, if you don't have statues. The reason I'm not getting it is because I have a Prime 1/3 Batman, and it's Arkham Batman, right? So I already have that one. It looks awesome. But otherwise, I'd probably be up for this one.
yeah, my only reservation, and see, that's where I think that got me. I think this is where this is how they've captured me. Because on one hand, I do have this reservation where I'm like, I haven't seen the movie yet, right? So it's hard for me to buy something that I haven't seen. On the other hand, it is Batman, and they were smart about it, and they gave me a cool Jim Lee head sculpt as well. So even if like I don't like the movie, just first impressions, looking at that suit, looking how bulky he is, how just that armored up, and like with the white eye, like, dude, that looks badass.
Yeah. I don't think you can go wrong. And I mean, I can't convince anyone, right? I've always said I collect because of design, not how good the movie was. But I do understand what you're saying. The good thing is what you just mentioned. It doesn't have to be the one from the movie. It could be whatever you want.
Right, exactly. It can be whatever you want on that.
You should show the one, the Peacemaker one.
Oh, that new mix, the Blitzway one?
Yeah.
I didn't see this.
Let's pull it up.
I see it.
Have you guys seen Peacemaker?
I haven't seen it.
I gotta watch it.
I have to catch up on a lot.
I'm trying to pull it up right now.
They did one, and then what was this company? They
Let's
did
just
also
watch the episode right now.
Huh? No. They did another statue as well. Hellboy. I don't remember which was the company. I think it's Prime 1 too. Hold on, let me check real quick.
Yeah, they did the Ron Perlman Hellboy. That looked good.
That looked good. Yeah. That looked very good, man. I was kind of like, I mean, the statues look amazing, man. I'm thinking like, shit, where I'm gonna put those statues?
Space. Damn space.
And it's not only the statues; it's the boxes. Like I've mentioned before, my Prime 1 Guyver one, which is quarter scale, it came in 2 boxes. One of the box I cannot fit through a single like standard size door.
Damn.
Like I had trouble getting in through my front door, which is a standard size. I forgot, was it 36 inches? Like it was a problem. So,
damn. And then you can't even break it down because of the styrofoam.
Yeah, and it's quarter. Yeah, that's why I pay for storage space.
Wait a second.
One of the reasons. Yeah.
Does he come with the gun?
He does. He comes with a Desert Eagle.
Okay, he does come with. Okay, got it. Swap.
Yeah.
Parts.
Now
okay,
I only just pulled this up. This is the only one. I just pulled something quick. There's no other pictures on this particular post, but
that's damn good.
I think there's some concern for that though, right? With the collaboration of Blitzway, that some of their stuff's not that great when they collab together. I've heard
that. I can't say firsthand, but I've heard that.
Didn't that happen with the Joker?
Yeah, this is the problem. Like, I mean, I'm not an expert in statues, so please don't quote me on this. But the people that I talk to, like Easy, he's very knowledgeable. Will, he's also knowledgeable in statues. They do collect this. Like for the Joker, it was a collaboration with Blitzway, and the final product came really bad compared to the prototype. And I was very close to get that one, but then I wanted to wait for the final product before buying it. And then when I saw the final pictures, I was like, if you're gonna pay this amount of money, the figure or the statue needs to be exactly as this.
Yes.
Even maybe like 97% or 96% to pull it, but no like 80% from the prototype or 70% from the prototype. That to me unacceptable, especially if you're gonna pay $1,400, $1,500 for this. So that's the reason why. Now this one looks amazing though. This one looks exactly like John Cena, exactly like the movie, Now the question is whether this likeness is going to hold when the statue is released, or is going to be a decline in likeness, which could be a problem.
Yeah.
We see that a lot with statues, which is kind of a weird situation, right? Because with certain statues, it's not like Hot Toys where you got a while. Like they'll announce a statue and they'll be like, you better get this thing quick because it's going to sell out. And you have no idea what the final product's going to be. And then it's really tricky because shipping's like $100, $200, $300 depending on the scale of the statue. And then you get it and it's not up to par. And then, you have to you gotta try to get it, shipped back. And there's this big hassle. So it's not like that happens all the time, but we've seen that happen a lot. And that's kind of why I don't dabble too much in statues, because it's, you have to kind of pick it up or it sells out. And then you may be screwed later on, and that's it. Like you guys were saying with that Joker, right? It looked nothing like the pictures, right?
Yep.
Yeah. That's what kind of for Prime 1, I've got a few Prime 1s, like I've said, but I don't have any of the recent ones that were based on actors from movies. Because a lot of those that are like mid-tier, they're not Queen Studios prices, they're not J&D prices, but they're a little lower, but they're more expensive than Sideshow. So for me, it's almost like if you really want to capture the likeness of an actor, it's probably better off going with J&D from what I can see, or Queen Studios maybe. But and if you're not going to capture that likeness of an actor, it's just like a comic book or a video game statue, then probably do Prime 1. That's what I've been able to see, but hey.
No, I get that. And the thing is they're damn expensive too, right? And we already have invested a lot of money, right? In whether it's Hot Toys or 6 scale. I mean, in general, right? We all have a lot. And I know, Jay, you were asking earlier, I was thinking maybe we could just shine on this a little light on this. Insurance for your collections. I mean, that's tough, man. Like, I don't personally have it. I have in the past though with comics.
Yep. But
I haven't here with my 6 scale collection, and I'm wondering, maybe I'd start with Desi. Do you think about it? Do you have it? What do you think it's worth it?
I think I might be picking it up this year. I've been really looking into it. I can't tell you if it's worth it or not, right? Because I haven't had it before. But I think I'm probably going to be picking it up shortly. I have asked other people, especially last year. I asked a lot of different collectors, and they seem to think it's the way to go. But so we'll see. Maybe I'll try it out for a year and see how that goes as far as the payments and everything, and we'll go from there. Because my collection is getting bigger. It doesn't compare to Fabs, but hey.
Yeah, that is true. Well, it depends on situations too, right? Like, because like where I live, I don't have any kind of natural disasters or anything, hurricanes, earthquake, God forbid anything happens to anybody, but you know what I mean? Like, aside from maybe like, I guess about like something in your house or plumbing or something happens and things flood or whatever, but then, my stuff's elevated. So if I'm swimming in it, I have more problems than, to worry. But it's weird, man. Let me go to Jay, brother cousins, man. What are your thoughts on the whole collector's insurance situation?
Well, I'm still researching it and everything. A couple years ago, back in, was it almost like 5 years ago, back in 2016, my apartment burned down. And not the whole apartment, but the main living room area was burned down, which was good for us, bad for like the rest of our neighbors because their stuff completely burned down. But our bedrooms were fine; they were in good condition. I did have some water damage in my room because they came in and sprayed everything down to get rid of cinders and everything like that. But I remember rushing home, and at that time, I probably had 4 DTOFs worth of, and they weren't completed full DTOFs worth of figures, but it was like mostly, I think at that time I just started collecting. I had Han and Chewie, which was new at that time, and I had a bunch, like all the first Avengers figures. That was like the base of my collection at that time. And I remember rushing home like, oh my God, everything's gone. And when the adjusters and the police and everybody came in, they were like, yeah, you lost your kitchen and your living room, but your collection is fine. And it was like, I was like, oh God, thank God. And I wasn't too worried about it at that time because I know that we had apartments insurance and stuff like that. So a lot of stuff was covered. But I did, when I was talking to an insurance adjuster, he was like, you have a collection? I was like, yeah. He's like, how much are these things worth? I was like, $300. He was like, look, even if you lost those figures, we would have to give you what they're worth, like what you paid for them. So
the retail value.
So if I got, let's say if I got Batman and Robin, which we know the Batman and Robin figures are about, I think they're about $1,000 to get both of them right now. They would have probably gave me only $220 what I would have paid for them back when they first released.
Right. I see what you're saying.
Better yet, I had the Han and Chewie box set, and I think I paid about maybe $400 or $500 for that time. Now that thing goes for about $1,200 now. So I wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be covered. So from what I understand, what collectors insurance is, they actually will protect the value of the piece, not just what you paid for it back in the day, and just give you money. Because those insurance adjusters, I'm not going to say they lowball you, but they're not going to. You're not going to get rich.
It's insurance.
It's
regardless.
insurance.
Like, yeah,
right.
We know how that is. Yeah.
Right. So,
yeah.
But when it comes to, but that's why I've been kind of looking into it. And I've seen one company, I can't remember the company's name off the top of my head, that does it, but I don't know. It's kind of weird. So if anybody in the chat or anybody, on a panel knows anything about it, I'm all ears. But that's what I was told. That's about my knowledge of it, that you want something that can protect the actual piece and what that piece is worth, or what those pieces are worth.
Right. I see what you're saying. Real quick, I just want to shout out El Professoro Mario. He says, look at this sexy panel.
Mario.
Evening, gents. Mario, of course, my brother here. We're going to be doing our posing review tomorrow on the Shore Troopers. So that'll be really, really fun. So, yeah, I that's tough on for me, man. OG fan with Star Wars, just Star Wars says insurance, like all intangible things, you're betting you won't suffer a loss, isn't worth it until the day it is. You can never predict an accident. Yeah, I mean, I'll say Fabio for last, man, because you got some shit, man. But Dante, I mean, is it do you think that's something worth considering, even despite the fact that maybe they end up giving you retail?
Yeah, I mean, I was listening to what Jay was saying. Obviously you want to get the insurance who can give you the actual value of the figure, right? Because you may have paid $250 like 4 years ago, but now it's worth $1,000. So technically, you're losing money. So I think my case, I mean, I have less than 100 figures, right? So me personally, I will not do it. Still, it's a risk, so I'll take it. It's just me personally. I don't feel paying monthly for something that I might not need it because of the amount of figures I have. Now, if I have way more than that and have a space dedicated to it, I have a basement with maybe 150 figures that I pretty much buy everything possible, then I should consider having an insurance, right? Like if you buy like multiples, like 3-4 figures all the time, Hot Toys hats, or if you buy, other, wrestling crap, whatever, then I might consider doing that. But because I'm poor, I don't have that, much space, like a full basement with a maze of cases and display cases, then no.
Yeah, no, I mean, so that's a good point, and I want to bring that up. But Braden, what's up, my friend? He said, "Yo, still no super chat option."
Not yet.
I appreciate that. No, I'm under review, so knowing my luck, they will probably not approve me.
Oh no, you will
So-
be approved, man.
He'll be approved.
You think?
Maybe check it out. Maybe it's already approved. You didn't even notice.
I don't know. Let me look.
Refresh
Let
the
me look.
screen.
Let me not here,
Reboot,
but I refreshed
reboot.
there. No, it still says in progress. So I don't know.
Is your computer on?
Yeah, I don't want to look at it. No, we're good. But I appreciate it, Braden. I really do. Maybe soon, maybe not. We'll see. But Fabio, I gotta ask you, bro, because what do you have? Like 1,000, almost 800, 900? Do you even know how many figures you got?
800 plus.
800 plus. No insurance.
No insurance. So my thing with insurance, years ago, I never thought about it personally. Years ago, a few people came in, saw the collection. They were like, "Oh my God, you have insurance for this?" And literally, it was like one after the other. So that had me thinking, should I go get insured? So I started looking into it, and it's not as easy as it sounds. You got to find an appraiser. You got to find somebody to come in. And, it's got to be somebody that the insurance company is going to recognize as well. It can't just be any random person who says, oh, I appraise figures. You know what I mean? So that's another thing. So then on top of that, like Jay was saying, you don't get what you don't get what they're worth. You get, whatever. It's not even what the retail, it's whatever they feel like giving you. You know what I mean? And if they feel like, well, we can't pay you more than this amount, there is nothing you can do. And it is what it is, because it's the insurance company and that's what they say. And what they say goes, and it is what it is. You're asked out if that's it. So that's why I stopped looking for a policy for myself, because I know that it's going to be more of a headache and more expensive in the long run, because I'm not going to get what this is worth anyway. So why am I going to give them money out of my pocket for years if I'm not going to get it back anyway? You know what I mean? So not only am I losing my profit on what this is worth, but now I'm paying the insurance company to protect this, and they're not going to give me what it's worth anyway. So why am I doing that? You know what I mean? So that's why I stopped looking into it. But by all means, whoever feels like they need insurance, I'm not saying not to do it. This is just my opinion, what I chose to do for myself. But having insurance is always great, better than nothing. God forbid anything happens here, I'm asked out. So if you don't have many that, is worth it for you, 100, 200, whatever, then by all means go find out how it works. And if you could get insured, it's not expensive, because it's not about the money. It's not going to be expensive at all. But it's not going to be worth it to me in the long run.
Right. I get that. And it's almost like, it's kind of shitty, right? Because it's almost like car insurance.
It is.
In that sense. I'm like, damn, I'm paying for this. Now there's a difference, right? Because of safety concerns, right? But like, if it covers anything else like theft or, destruction, it's weird, because I've put a lot of money into my car as it is, right? But it's very similar, where they would be like, well, your car is really only worth this, even though I've put substantially more money into its value. It's somewhat similar in that respect.
Plus, don't forget
the outside stuff of being in a car in an accident or something.
Plus, don't forget what I was going to say was, an insurance company is going to look at this, number one, as toys. So they're not going to see it like you see it or I see it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's number one. Number two, to them, all they're going to see is how much money can we make off of this. So they have to figure out what type of policy they're going to give you, what type of this, how at the end of the day, they're going to win, period. It's just, that's how it's going to be set up.
Right.
And number three, how are they going to get the value of these things? Where are they going to get, because an appraiser could come in. Where is he going to get these values from? There's no certificate of authenticity. There's no, you know what I mean? There's no limited amount of this. There's no way to prove this. So that's another thing. So how are they going to figure out what this is going for? For example, what the hell's his name? Give me an example. No. Like, go ahead.
I was going to say there are some. Look, I'm not an expert on this, right? But the reason when I was looking into it, I was not looking to add it to my home, because I live in South Florida. I'm sure there's a way, but if South Florida, Miami-Dade County, like highest home insurances in the nation. Last time I checked, by a lot. So adding anything, including this, it's like, oh, that's a good reason to increase. So I was looking at things that might be much more expensive for other people. Like, for example, one company I keep hearing of from many people, and I don't have anything with this company. I don't have insurance with them, but American Collectors, I think, they insure like exotic cars, exotic bikes, and they also insure collectibles, such as like if you've got signed sports memorabilia, toys. And the one thing they advertise is that they give you fair market value in the case of theft, fires, anything like that. So yes, they do go on to wherever they need to go to find the fair market value. How that works, or if they actually do that, I don't know. But they're probably much more expensive considering they're a very specific company that does exotic cars and high-end collectibles, right? So
makes sense.
Fabio's still right. Like the amount of money you're putting into it, like you got to balance that.
And then another thing is, and
Jabe, just before I let you go,
Yeah,
I'm really sorry. I just wanted to bring this up because I just had Rebel Scum here. He said, "Greetings from Peru, Anthony and panel. My first time here. Cool channel." I just wanted to say thanks for tuning in, bud, and shout out. Well, my apologies. Go ahead, Jay.
No, that's fine. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it poses another question. Me and my cousin was talking about this the other day because I actually think this company kind of, in a way, killed comic books. And I know, and I the whole CGI grading system. Do you think that there should be something for like toys or high-end collectibles? Because I mean, look, I mean, just with our channels and just with everything that, you know, over the last 10 years, collectibles, and I mean, and now you're getting movie props and statues and stuff. It's big money and big business in this stuff. Do you think there should be like some type of a grading system like CGI grading to grade like the number, well, not to really grade the comic or grade comics, but like grade the figures, like this is limited and going like, okay, so Hot Toys hasn't made this, or this is a figure from 2004. It's not a re-release. Should there be something like that in place?
You mean to grade the condition of your figure?
Exactly.
Like they come to you and they say, okay, this, for example, this Batman looks like shit, so it's gonna be a 4th grade. Even though right now it's like super sold out, but because of the condition, or if it's peeling off, whatever, I'm not gonna give you $1,000 for this crap. I'm gonna give you like $100.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I'm gonna say with my example. So picture a Yondu, right? So my Yondu is obviously not sealed. So if you were to go on eBay, you're gonna find sealed is going for this much, right? So then let's say they get that number from that. But my figure is open. Great condition, but it's open. Now, where are they going to go? Go look for a sold figure that was used, and how they're going to determine what it looked like, how it was, the you know, everything. It doesn't work for figures. It just doesn't. That's why I'm like, there's no way they're going to give me, if God forbid anything happens, there's no way they're going to give me my money back anywhere near that, because I know that's not the game they're in anyway. They're there to make money, not give money. So either way, I lose.
Right. Well, there's a catch for it, right? So let's say you bought Yondu for $250 3 years ago, right? Now it's worth $1,000. Just to throw a number there, brand new sealed, $1,000. So if they appraise your figure, used, open, displayed, whatever, perfect condition, whatever, they're not gonna give you 1,000. They're probably gonna give you maybe 500, 600. Still is more what you pay for. So still you're making, you're still making money. You know,
but my point is, how are they deciding that figure is worth $500?
Based on condition, based on the condition. If the condition is a very good condition, like meaning the suit is perfect, nothing is broken, the articulation is great, head sculpt, no painting, the box, the accessories, everything. Again, that's based on the grading.
No insurance company is going to come in here, grab a figure, and start bending it. That's what I mean. Not. So it's very hard to determine. Right. That is my point.
No, it is difficult. That's why I was actually referring to what Jay said about the grading part. Like if somebody can grade it and give you insurance based on that grading, then obviously you're gonna be in a much better position. Now, if you know, but the problem with that is, like when you provide, for example, a card to be graded, right? They give you the score, whatever that is, and they put a plastic or a cover, like some type of hard plastic cover to protect the condition of it. how can they protect the condition of the figure? I mean, they're not going to tell you put it in a case sealed with no air, like whatever. They can't do that.
They do.
You know,
they do. I
Now-
have one like that, but it's not for a hot toy. It's for a Black Series that I got at Star Wars Celebration that I got signed by Mark Hamill, right? And it's the
okay.
same company,
But it
and
has to be
I
sealed,
can
though.
grab it. Yeah, it's still sealed. Like it's
Right.
hard to do that with a hot toy.
Exactly.
But the point is, you can. I think that you can do it.
You can, but just imagine just leaving your figure like that. I mean, you will have to put it in the box. You know what I'm
it's
saying?
a
So
tricky. You know,
tricky
just so I
thing,
can chime in for what Jay was saying because it is relevant for me. I actually had insurance prior. As you guys, most of you all know, I've been in the comic world forever, and I had quite a comic book collection. I mean, graded CGC or CBCS. I've had some of those. Those are the two major ones. But mostly, I did CGC because I worked at a comic book store. And we had a membership with them, so that was like our go-to, and we get discounts because it's we're a store, we're brick and mortar. I had a guy actually come out through my homeowner's insurance, and it was a very weird process because they had to actually come. He's like an insurance adjuster almost. He came out and he took photos of like my whole collection because they're graded. You know, it's different. It's different. Okay, that's where Fabio's point is of why it's like too much of a hassle and it's not worth it. Mine are graded, they're blistered, they're sealed, they've got the official stamp. They can use that as a reference point and be like, oh, you do have a Hulk 181 at a 9.4. That is like $6,000 or something. You know what I mean? They can verify that. We can't go check out the Dark Jedi, Aries Tarrington, and look at the market. He's got, we just can't. We just can't do that. Or we can't say, oh, well, this guy on YouTube said it was worth $1,000.
Right.
It's, again, unless you were in that position where you, like Desi mentioned with some of those old blisters, the vintage or the Black Series, and you get them actually sealed and graded. But then that's not really what we're all about with Hot Toys. We open them, we pose them, we play with, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's tough. It's tough.
It's a good question. And I would hope, and this is a bad hope, right? I would hope that if you're spending the money on one of these more exotic insurance companies, that they would be, especially if they specialize in collectibles, that they would know a little bit more about Black Series, graded and ungraded, and then versus Hot Toys, and where to get the pricing for that. But at the end of the day, like Fabio said, they're just in it to make money, right? So you got to keep that in mind too.
Yep.
Yeah, that is true. Louis Labitz, though, he's just speaking of the devil. CGC and CBCS, exactly. Two best comic grading companies, Beckett and Collectibles Insurance Company, should look up, FYI. So I don't know. They may have something with that as said. So I don't know. We're in a weird, very esoteric group. It's very niche. Hot Toys are 6 scale. We open them. Comic books are more prominent throughout the world, and as far as collecting is concerned, right? It's comic books. They have huge grading companies. There's all sorts of. It goes on since forever and ever and ever. So it is tough, man.
And the thing is, unless you're involved in the hobby, you really don't know anything about these figures. You don't know what they're worth. You don't know what they are. So all you see is, these toys are cool. But that's it. You know what I mean? So you have to be in it to understand what it is that, that they are.
Yeah.
That is true.
Makes sense.
That is very true. OG Fan says it's a stated value policy. You prove the value and pay the appropriate premium for that value. If it increases, you call your agent and add it to your value.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Zenobi, what's up, my friend? He said 50 points for collector's insurance debate from different points of view. Hell yeah. Well, it's I don't think nobody really talks about it, and it is kind of a thing, right? Because I don't know how I feel about it, because like you said, if they're like, well, you bought this figure, it retailed for $200.
Yeah.
Is it worth paying monthly for years and years and years and nothing ever happens? But then maybe that day does happen,
and then you only get $220 or the value
per.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, that could be potentially in the thousands, how depending on how big your collection is, or the tens of thousands. It really depends. And you have to
You would
ask
be able
yourself,
to.
was
So
it worth it
down,
then?
Yeah, so it comes to a thing of let's say you have 150 figures. So at least you won't have everything, but you may potentially be able to save half of your collection, or maybe or maybe not half. I would say maybe 40% of it.
Yeah, it's not much.
Not much.
But it is if you have a huge, I mean, it's yeah, that's really tough, man. That's tough, guys. But that's really good, man. I did a poll in the chat, let me actually go ahead and end it. So we had like 22% people have insurance on their collection. So not a lot. But it is something to consider, right? I mean, at the very least, think about it. And then whether or not you feel like that's something that's right for you, I guess really is what it comes down to.
You should put up a poll asking the people who do have insurance how many figures they have. Like more than 50, more than 100, more than 200.
How many collectibles they have? Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Well, while I do that, Xavier wants to know, what temp do you guys usually keep your collection at? What about you, Desi? I'll start with you. Your collection, like, what's the temperature?
Temperature.
Actually, I actually made a video about this. I haven't put it out yet, but because I think it's important. But between 70 and 78. I have my AC set at 72, but by the time it gets to my display room, it could sometimes get warmer. As long as you have it under 78 degrees, it's fine. What's also very important is humidity, which from what I've read, and I'm no expert on this, guys, but I've just done, Google research, right? I'm not a scientist, but and I've just looked up like what is the relative humidity in a museum setting, and most places tell you somewhere between 35 and 65% relative humidity. So I just have, the HVAC, if you have an HVAC system, and not everybody does around the world, but if you do, it'll usually take care of that, right? So if I have my room temperature between 70 and 78 degrees, usually the relative humidity in this room is about 45, 50, which is good. It's within that 35 to 65 range.
Okay. Well, because that's what he's asking. He's got his between 65 and 80 and 20 to 45 humidity throughout the year.
Yeah, I told him, I think 20 might be a little low from what I've read, but again, I'm not an expert, man. Like most of the sites that I looked up said between 35 and 65, but so I try to keep it within that range, but hey.
Yeah, mine is I usually keep my first floor is about 72, 70 degrees. And then at night when we are up here downstairs, we put about 74 when winter, right? Summertime is usually in the 70s, 70, 72, 70. So, and it's dry, because of the AC. So that's the reason why the figures last longer too. If you have a very humid place or very like hot or extremely cold, which, unless you're outside pretty much, right? But just if you keep that temperature in that level, you will not have any problem. So pretty much if you're living in your apartment right now, any part of the country, right, and you're comfortable with the temperature, meaning that it's not like super hot, super cold, it's comfortable for you, then you got pretty much.
Yeah, and it's I was going to say, it's also like the drastic changes. It sucks. It's one of those hidden costs of collecting, right? It's like, well, you got to have an HVAC system or something, right? And then also, some HVAC system, it's like, okay, I leave my house for work and I have it programmed to get a little warmer, right? And then when I come back home, a lot of us have that. It's like, well, it's those sudden changes and drastic changes that really affect the toys and the leather components. Let's be real, and the rubber. It's like, oh my god, when it's warm during the day and the humidity's higher because the HVAC is off, and then you come home and like those changes, sudden. That's what really kills you.
Well, that's the thing, because you are in a very humid environment. So do you actually control your humidity?
A normal HVAC will control it. Like I don't have a dehumidifier or a humidifier in this
So you
room.
don't go the extra step, is what I mean.
I don't have to, because like when I have little cheap humidity, they're not laboratory calibrated, measures, but it tells you the temperature and it tells you the humidity. And I've got a few like set up. They're like this big, and they're set up throughout the display room. And it's usually, like I said, between 40 and 45% relative humidity. So
Well, and I assume with you, Fabio, you probably have it pretty cold, right? Because you're
No, that's
right.
not the answer necessarily. So I'm in New York. This is a basement where my collection is. So the main floor is usually between, if it's cold, 70 degrees. If it's freezing, 72 degrees max. But for some reason, obviously, the basements are obviously cooler. So I think the temperature down here is usually between like 2 to 4 degrees cooler. The reason why cold is not always the answer is because it'll freeze the glue. So any glue on any figure, it'll end up drying out. And then when you go move the figure, anything attached to that glue will just fall right off because it's happening.
Yeah,
So you
super
gotta
glue.
be right. So you got to be very careful with the cold. That more cold doesn't mean better, but for whatever reason, thank God, the way the temperature fluctuates in the basement has worked out for me, perfectly. So I have no complaints. I have no flaking. I have no, nothing has happened. But extreme cold, it doesn't mean that it's better either.
By the way, quick tip: if you were into model cars or model whatever, and you use super glue and you need to remove something, put it in your freezer.
Oh,
It'll kill the super glue.
okay. Good to know. I did
Now
not
that we're
know
talking
that.
about that,
You know that.
also works on toys. So
Well, real quick, this is a great conversation, but I know Dante, you have to get going, my friend, right?
Yeah, I have to get going. I just want to say thank you, Anthony, for the invite. Definitely, we need to do this again next time. Probably, much longer time. I want to say thank you, everyone watching. Don't forget to subscribe to all my friends' channels here. I believe the links are in the description below. Pretty much they are because this guy knows his YouTube
Thank you.
homework.
I do.
Yeah.
Appreciate.
So I just want to say thank you, guys. I don't know.
Thank you for
Should I say
coming.
what? Yeah.
What do you got going on, man? This is your time.
Yeah, we have tomorrow. I'm gonna put a video for members, figures with friends. So stay tuned for that one. It's usually around 8 p.m. Eastern that I put it for members only. So if you want to become a member, just go check my channel out. I have different packages. We usually do new content all together for members, not necessarily early access for reviews because you can see the reviews anywhere, but exclusive content like shows and live streams, that's happening. We're gonna have 2 live streams next week on Tuesday and Friday, so stay tuned for that. And any reviews or anything, you guys will see it on the channel. So that's pretty much all I have.
Awesome,
Thank
bro.
you, guys.
Well, I'm glad you were able to. Of course, it's the pleasure's mine having you here, man. I'm glad we were able to do this, and we're gonna have more of the Saturdays, man. So now everybody can get here. So you have fun the rest of your night, and we will talk to you soon, my friend. I don't want to keep you any longer.
No problem. Thank
Thanks
you,
for
guys. Have a
coming.
good night.
Thank
you,
take
guys.
care, man.
Right,
Thanks for
brother.
coming. Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Bye. Oh man, that's awesome. Hey, now we got a full cube, man. Now it's party time, right?
There you go.
No, hell yeah, man. So I don't know. That's an interesting topic, man, and it's the chat. You guys seem pretty responsive to that.
Awesome.
I'm gonna end this poll really quick though because 45% who have insurance. This is a tricky one, right? So I said, do you have more than 50 figures if you have insurance? And 45% of you said you do have more than 50. And 55% of you do not have more than 50. So that's interesting. People with less than 50 figures have insurance for it. So I guess it really just depends, right? It's like it's peace of mind, I guess, right? As someone had stated earlier in the chat, forgive me, I didn't quite catch who, but that something of a return is better than nothing, I guess, right? To kind of paraphrasing that, if it happens, but I guess it just depends on whether or not.
But think about it. This is like where I realize that I should just stop. You're paying for something, and they're still not giving you your full money back anyway. So what is the point? You know what I mean? Like that's how I make sense out of not even bothering.
You really have to do some good math for it, I think, right? Like, it's like, how much am I going to be paying? How much would they likely give me back? That's a guess.
You're probably going to be paying them more than what you'll ever get back.
Absolutely,
they got to make their money, right?
Absolutely.
No, well, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah,
that's insurance in general, right?
That's insurance in general. Yeah.
So the question is, do you just chalk it up as a bill? and say, well, I have another bill the rest of my life. You know what I mean? And then pay it, and then if something happens, something, you know what I mean? It's
a great
that's a tough
topic.
one.
It's just like
It
the
is.
storage one. Like, hey, what do
Yeah.
you do with the boxes? Like, once you have no room, like, I've got a storage space. It's like, is it worth keeping the boxes every month in the storage space? Granted, I have the storage space for other reasons as well. But you know, the truth is, the main reason I went out and got one was because of the boxes. Like, it's like I wanted my closet space back in my home.
Right.
Yeah.
See
Well,
that for being that. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, P-Rock says it's only $5 more a month for his insurance. Maybe it's cheaper through USAA. I guess that depends on the value. I don't know what your declared value is. If my declared value could be covered for $5 a month,
Well, yeah.
sign me up.
Plus, he's a veteran. I'm assuming, so that's why.
Yeah.
You get discounts and
Right.
stuff. But again, it all comes down to how much you have.
Yeah, I think the declared
Because if
value is the factor.
Because let's say if your collection is valued, probably I'm off the top of my head, I would say a little more than about 45 grand personally, a little more than that. So if it's 45 grand, you know what I'm saying? You can, I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's. I mean, obviously, you can't really, like OG fan said, can your collection really be replaced? No, it can't. Right? Like, let's say tomorrow,
if you get, let's say you get a Jazz Ink piece and they stop making it, that's done. You know,
yeah, or even Hot Toys for that matter. You're gonna end up having to. Oh, I really want to get my Yondu again. Okay, well, I got to check. Which is fuck all worth anything. You know, the fraction of what my collection was valued at. Then it's like, well, I don't know. It's a tough one because I mean, it has to be something catastrophic. So if my whole house burned down and my collection's gone, I got other fucking problems to worry about.
real shit.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And again, it's just tricky. It's yeah, I don't know. That's something that we could probably debate until the end of time. I think it's preference. Do you feel comfortable with, you know, setting something up like that and whether or not it's a value to you? So I think we could probably, we'll just leave it at that, I think, because it's really up to you. OG fan said I paid 5 years of storage for my collection when I didn't have the space, and we're talking like $1,500 a year.
Shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're paying like $50-$60 a month for a storage unit.
That's why I never got a storage unit. It's like, I'm lucky that I had. So what I did was I ended up building shelves all around the perimeter of the garage. So I have 2 layers of shelves all around the garage. So that's shelving for me. I had another piece built where I put the bigger boxes. So like the Igor boxes, the ED209 boxes. So those huge boxes are up there. I have 2 full closets filled. I have my boiler room filled. So right now, at this point, thank God I have plenty of room. But even so, I am not getting a storage unit because that gets super expensive really quickly.
Yes.
It does.
Yeah. That was my thing. Go ahead, Dizzy. I'm sorry.
No, it's just saying, like, it does. It's just in my case, it's actually, that's not a bad idea. Like, we don't have basements in South Florida. I don't have a garage. Like, the room I'm in right now, this was an addition to this house when we bought the house. I mean, I pay for an addition to have as my display room, right? So it's just like I literally ran out of space to put the boxes. So it's either throw them away or pay, and it's like for now. Now, luckily, I'm using the storage space to store other stuff too, like Christmas decorations, and I had a gaming table here that's now over there. So,
yeah, that's what I was saying.
You
Like,
know.
if I was in a situation where I had furniture, you know, like, because I'm in an apartment, right? Let's just say I had a bunch of shit, and I really do have too much crap. But like, if I was like, I'm gonna get a storage place just to keep some things until I move or whatever, then I would look at it and be like, I have some room in there. Okay, maybe I'll go throw my boxes in there, you know, just as like a thing. But I don't want to go and be like, all right, hi, can I rent a storage unit because I've got a ton of boxes solely of Hot Toys or whatever, statues, anything, you know, just 100% collectibles, because then like he had mentioned, it's 15, you know, it can't, it's you're paying out the ass, man. Now, is that worth is that a sacrifice you're willing to do in order to you know, free up space in your home? It's possible. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
that's just tough. That's a tough one. But then you have that, and let's say you get insurance. Now look at all your money.
Yeah.
So,
I think that goes. I'm sorry, Desi, go for it.
No, I was just say hidden cost of collecting. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it is. It is. I did want to ask you though, real quick, Fabio, because you mentioned about the cold. Like where I'm at, as Toku mentioned earlier, we're out here in the desert, bro. So we have like there's no humidity out here. There really isn't. But I do keep my place kind of cool. But I haven't, and I get that though. I've had some glue issues. I have, and maybe that's because I keep it a little chilly in here. But
you need humidity in there 100%. You have to get
just
a
like a
humidifier.
little,
minimal, just enough to not dry out your stuff.
Over 35%, under 35%.
Yeah, see that I don't know, but you need humidity in there 100%.
There's like I said, I gotta put out the video, but I recorded it. Like there's these little the things I was referring to. It measures humidity. It's not laboratory calibrated, but it was like $10 on Amazon. You know what I mean? It's good enough. You know, like it's fine. You know, somebody could argue, be like, "Oh, that's not accurate." It's like, good enough. You know, something's better than nothing.
Yeah. No, well, space is definitely an issue too. Like Fig Fate say, he's lucky he has a spare room to store his boxes. Works for now until I run out of space. Yeah, that's usually the case here. I just feel like Toku, he's like his room is like Mr. Freeze's lair. He knows, man. You see this thing right here? This white object right here is an air conditioning unit.
What is that? A Yeti cooler you sleep in?
Pretty much, I do. I just turn that bitch on. I set it to 60, and I go to sleep. And I mean, we have air conditioning in the house. This is an extra. You know, this is like for my room. I like it cold, guys. But
you're like me with the fans.
Well, yeah,
I'm like
that.
I
Guess so
I can't go to sleep
cold,
without
man.
a fan.
It's good to sleep cold too, man. It's better for your body, I heard. So, isn't that ideal? But anyway, I feel like with that, knowing that I'm out here in a desert, I don't have any issues though. Like I've never had problems with my figures. I know people have gotten like flaking and, you know, just natural degradation of their I've never ever had, I mean, knock on wood, but I never had like an issue. So I thought maybe it was because I didn't have humidity. Because I've been over in the East Coast or the Midwest, you guys got some crazy ass weather and humidity's brutal. And I thought, I don't know. I guess it just depends. So I'm clueless. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, really. Like I thought keeping it cold would be better, but you guys are saying, you know, have a little bit of humidity in there.
I thought so too, but now that you mention it, like I have the original Deadpool, and the holster on his gun holster, like the glue, like it was just glued on, and the holster flap is just up now because the glue just gave on it. And it's probably because of like what you guys were saying, or what you and Desi were saying about the whole thing that the cold just kills that super glue. So yeah.
And sometimes the glue on some of those holsters is just not good.
Well,
Like,
yeah, the amount they apply is very little sometimes. You see like that little dot, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just saying real quick. I remember Desi, you mentioned something before on a previous panel that how you don't know also where your figures are going and coming from before you even get them, and there's those extreme temperature changes that can occur before you even get your figure, or even in this case, if you store them somewhere for a long period of time that's a different temperature than what you're used to, and then you open it up right away, there could be.
I think that is my assumption, guys, and I want to emphasize that it is my assumption, right? That it is not necessarily the dryness or the humidity; it's the changes in between, especially the older the product gets. Like the only experience I have with, I think, 2 of my figures was, and I've mentioned this before on a different stream, was back in 2015 when I moved houses. In between the move, I had everything in a storage place for about a month, a little less than a month, maybe 2 weeks, actually, half a month. Mm-hmm. And that storage place, yes, it was climate controlled, but climate control in storage places is just like, it's not 90 degrees in South Florida. It's still humid. Like it is warm.
Here they're cold.
Yeah, exactly. So I had it there for like 15 days, 2 weeks, right? I brought all my collection to the new house. And when I brought it out, I noticed that two figures. One was my Hot Toys Red Skull. It had a little crack in the back of the coat, and it was perfect before I moved everything because I checked everything and I hand transported everything. And the other one was the Sideshow. Sideshow was worse. I had a Cobra Commander, a G.I. Joe Cobra Commander from Sideshow, and his coat was also starting to crack. And it was during that time. Maybe it was a coincidence, but I haven't had a problem with those figures since. I got rid of the Cobra Commander, but I didn't have a problem afterwards. And the Red Skull is fine. I did treat him with Mod Podge, but it didn't keep cracking in other places or flaking. So I think it's those extreme temperatures. So yeah, even in store, like that's why I was asking about Ahsoka the other day. It's like, oh, she's been on a ship for so long. I'm like, like in that humid container ship. How long is long? Like 'cause 2 months is okay,
Right, she's all
but
sweating in there and all.
yeah, but it's like
you get her and she just disintegrates. You're like,
it's like, oh no, it's like it's perfectly fine in there, but as soon as she like you take it out of the box and it hits that dry air, it's like, like I don't know, it's probably not, but.
Yeah. Let me check this real quick. Fig Fate just caught me here. He says, "Wow, one figure a week. I went crazy last year myself. I don't know how many exactly, but I think around 75 figures. Holy shit. I have to cool it this year, get my budget back under control." Yeah, that's a lot, man. I mean, if you're not Fabio, that is a lot of that's a lot of figures,
Fabio,
right? I mean, Jay,
2 weeks.
Desi, 75 figures in a year. Have you picked? No. Not me.
I don't think I've done. I think the worst I did was maybe 2020. Was it 2020 or maybe was it last year? I think I did. I added 30 figures to my collection in over 1 year. Yeah, not exactly 30 figures, 30 pieces, because it was like lightsabers, shit like that. So maybe about 25 figures.
Okay. Still 75 is a lot. Yeah. I mean, it just, well, if you can swing it, yeah, of course. It gets, I'm at a point where I kind of have to pick and choose. And that's real, and that's real talk. And I think that's what people appreciate. We talk about, we're not, we got to get this figure, guys, and check this out and must go buy. Like, we're real people here, man. We all got our own, you know what I'm saying? We got our problems, but we love collecting, and if we can swing it, we can swing it. And if we can't, then we have to make those sacrifices, and then, regret it later, right? You're like, oh man, I missed that. I don't want to, that's my big problem right now, because there's a few troopers that are now current, that are out, and I want to pick them up. But then if like an Ahsoka drops or this Darth Maul drops, I would be like, do I want to get a trooper or do I want to get a sculpted figure? And then I buy the figure, and then the next sculpted figure comes out, and the next sculpted figure comes out, and then I'm like, oh shit, the troopers are getting further and further behind, and I need to get it, and then by then it's like, oh, it's waitlisted, it's gone, and then you're like, you know what I'm saying? Like, through time, things like that happen, and you can't necessarily get everything you want. You know what I mean? I wish I could, but Andreas has great knowledge and perspective. Thanks, guys. Yeah, this was fun. We were gonna kind of have a oddly enough, I was like, yo, let's just relax, we'll have some fun, we'll goof around, and we're talking about some serious shit. But it's good, man. Everybody seems to be enjoying that, so that's really cool, man. But I don't know, man. I think that might be good, man. I think we covered some good stuff, and I mean, is there anything else you guys can have on your mind, or?
No, I love these conversations. For me, this is like where it really gets that. If you're collecting seriously, and we are, because we're on YouTube and there's people watching, so if you are, like, you're probably collecting seriously, right? So this is like definitely things that you're probably thinking about, or if you're not thinking about, it's interesting. I was going to mention, I collect statues too, not as much as Hot Toys, but I started collecting Hot Toys in 2007 through 2012. I stopped, and I restarted collecting Hot Toys in 2018 to now, and I have about 70 figures. So I mean, could do the math. I have sold figures, but that goes to show you I don't collect. I also have statues, right? But I don't collect. I have the budget,
That brings up an interesting point. I'm gonna ask one final poll in the chat here. and it is: do you have over 50 figures? And I'm interested to see, with 66 people in here, I would say go ahead and hit that like button, but we have 66 likes, so thank you guys very much. But I am curious. I'd like to know, I'd like to know, like, because, you know, I mean, I think I'm approaching that 100.
Yeah.
I think I've lost count, but I think it's somewhere around there.
I think I'm at like
I have over.
Yeah, I think I'm at like 105 or something like that. And I've been collecting, started 2009, and I mean, if I sold a lot of stuff too. I buy stuff once it's not. At one point, I was just thinking about it. I remember I had Bruce Lee. I had the Enter the Dragon figure. Damn, I kind of missed that figure too. But I remember selling that, and I had that. Yeah, it's just over a period of time. You can't, like you were saying, you can't have it all. So unless you're
Right now, Fabio, do you
unless
have
you're
that?
Fabio.
Enter the Dragon?
Do I have what?
That Bruce Lee Enter the Dragon figure?
Of course, I got 2 of them.
You know what I'm saying? He's got it all, man. You've heard it first.
I have that. I have 2 of those. I have the yellow one. Enter the Dragon.
Game of Death. Or
Game of Death.
Maybe?
Game of Death.
Yes.
With the
Got that.
I got that. I got
nice. Was that an Interbay?
I think so. I got the last Interbay when he's got the ripped shirt with the 2 head sculpts. Yeah, I got all the Bruce Lee ones, and I got the Hot Toys ones as well with the directed chairs and stuff.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Damn.
they're pretty cool.
Those Enderbays are awesome.
Yeah, they're really nice.
Those
Those were the great figures back then. Yep.
Yes.
Oh,
They had such a cool little retail store in Hong Kong. It was really nice. Too bad they went away.
Oh, I'll say real quick, Weasel Figures. That is Shane. If you guys don't know, Shane's my brother here. He said, "Hey, sorry guys, I'm late with the wife. Had me doing stuff." Shane was gonna probably pop on if he could, but totally understandable. But and I know his collection. And he says he's got about 160-ish. And honestly, it's a pretty. One of these days, Shane. I mean, he did a video, but a few years. He's got to do it again. The way he's got his figures set up, it's weird because it doesn't look like it, right? It doesn't look like you have that many until you. Like there's a perspective, right? I mean, like, I don't know about you. Well, Fabio, yours is a little weird though, right? You could probably just be like, okay, wait, actually I do have a lot. You know, when you look at it in that respect, but like the way he had it set up, it didn't really look like a ton. And we lose track of that, right? I mean, we're like I said, I don't really know my exact number, and I don't think I have a lot. But then I'll talk to somebody else, and they're like, "Well, I have like 7." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
You know what the
That may
crazy
be a
thing
lot
is?
for them.
The crazy thing is, I remember so I only counted for the very first time last year, believe it or not, and because I never cared for that. You know, I never cared for counting or how many I have or whatever. I just collect because I collect. And I remember, I think I was talking to my wife. And she goes, "How many do you think you have?" And I was like, "I don't know, maybe like 200." This is what I'm saying. This was last year. and she's like, I was like, "Oh, maybe like 200." She's like, "What are you talking about?" I said, No. I said, "It looks like a lot." I said, "But when I got to 200 and I was like just starting with these, I was like,
Whoops.
I couldn't believe. No, I swear, I'm not even kidding. I swear to God, I couldn't believe it that I had that many. I was like, now I'm at 500. I was like, holy crap. And I'm still not done. I still got obviously 220 and 70 something left. And I was like, I was shocked because I didn't know how many I had. And she would always tell me, "You have so much." I'm like, "No, I don't." But now I know I do. It's crazy. It's the craziest thing.
I was going to ask you, do you have a
You
spreadsheet?
got your own secret base.
You know, it's funny. I always wanted to do one, but I don't have the patience for that. So I never bothered.
Yeah.
Damn. That's
why
guys.
I appreciate what Aries does with that market website, because that's a lot of work, man. Like, and he doesn't, you know, he does it for everybody because he doesn't have all these figures. So it's not like he does it for himself. You know what I mean? He does it for the community, and that's a lot of time he spends on that.
Yes.
Aries, let me tell you, man, I'm sure everybody here is already subscribed to 6 Scale Cantina, but if not, go. Aries does, like you saying, Fabio, he really puts in the work for the community. He doesn't have, like you said, he doesn't have all those figures.
He doesn't. It's not for
him.
him.
He's a fan, and he's doing the community a tremendous service, in my opinion. Before I even knew who Aries was, personally, I knew of him, and I would reference, his website and look at the because it's a valuable tool, and it's not you can take it for what you want. You could look at it as a reseller situation, but I look at it as like, what's the market price? Am I getting a fair deal if I buy this figure backwards? What can I negotiate with on this? You know what I'm saying? It's very, very informative, and yeah, he does it for the community, man. So shout out to Aries, man. He's an awesome guy, man.
He is the Kelly Blue Book of 6 scale.
Yeah,
seriously,
he is.
Hell yeah!
I wish it was even more official than it already is. So then, when you have insurance, you could be like, "No, look, Kelly Blue Book, 6 scale Cantina."
Can you imagine? That'd be awesome.
Definitely. I'm gonna real quick. Sorry, go ahead. I'm gonna end this poll because that's interesting. So, 54% of you say you have over 50 figures. So I'm going to do one more poll. And I'm going to say, do you have over 100 figures?
I noticed over the years of collecting too, there's a lot of people who collect in the shadows. Like, you don't know what these people have. Like, you just think like, oh, just because there's a lot of people like myself for many years, they don't like showing their stuff. And I'm going to tell you why. A lot of people don't like showing their stuff so they could get really low deals. The moment you start seeing people who have a lot of stuff, you're not going to get any deals at all. I know that firsthand. The moment I started showing, absolutely. The moment I started showing my collection, everybody was like, well, you got too much shit. You're not getting any. You know what I mean? Like that type of attitude towards, I swear to God, I'm not even kidding.
Wow, I didn't think about that.
So a lot of people will collect in the shadows for that reason, to make deals so you'll never know what they have. He could tell you, this is my first figure. How are you going to know it is? So that's the thing. And they play the game. It's crazy. The things you see over time is insane.
That's crazy. I never even thought about it like that.
Oh, absolutely.
I'd say, speaking about showing off your collection, don't forget to come check out my Facebook group either. That's 6 Scale Mafia, because that's what we do over there too. Show it off so I can, counter your low balls on trying to buy my figures. But no, you bring up a good point, Fabio. I never even considered that shit.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, man. It's crazy the things that go on in the community. If you don't, and again, you won't know because nobody's going to come out and tell you, I have these many. You know what I mean?
Right.
But they're getting their deals. These are the people who don't pre-order anything, but they get everything for cheaper because they just wait. They're just collecting. They're not in a rush, which is why they don't need to show you anything. You know what I mean? They don't need to. They're just collecting. They're getting their stuff for so cheap. They're not telling you anything. The moment they start posting stuff, you're gonna be like, "Oh, this guy has a big collection." You see him in a group saying, "Oh, anybody have this for a reasonable price?" You're gonna be like, "Oh, hell no! You already got 300 figures." You know what I mean? So that it's 100% true. It's 100% true.
No,
that's crazy.
Good point.
I never considered that, man.
Me neither. Damn.
I've never considered that. Well, the more you know.
That's all I have right there. That's it.
That's it?
all I have.
Oh.
There's nothing else around me.
This is a backdrop.
I put a link in the channel. Sorry. And even that right there, Fabio, would probably give you shit.
Yeah.
Right? They'd be like, you already got enough figures. What the hell?
Oh no. Like I said, this and I'm talking from experience. I lived this, and this is not recent. This is, years ago.
Right.
And you start noticing, and people, they tell you to your face, like, no, like, you'll have so much shit, like, you got to pay what it is. It's like, what the hell? So
damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I'm damn, and I'm working on a collection tour video right now. I'm like, damn, should I release it?
See, but that's the thing. Like, now at this point, like, I show it because I want to show it. I know there's a lot of people who haven't seen a lot of the figures that I have, a lot of Hot Toys figures that I have. You know what I mean? Yeah. They just started collecting, so I don't mind showing this. It is what it is. For so many years, I kept it to myself. Why not? But for people who are starting, I'm telling you, there's a lot of people who do that. They won't say anything, and they'll have 200, 300, 400, 500, and they're just to themselves, and you'll never know. Yep.
Sean says you just tell him it's all CGI in the background.
It is.
It's a
Look,
green screen.
it is. Look, see.
It's one of
Yeah,
those
see,
Zoom
there's
screens.
nothing back there. Just a reflection coming off the glass. Oh, that's great, man. Clink, what's up, my friend? I started getting into hot toys a little last year. Well, welcome to the community, man. In the hobby, it could be a slippery slope, man. Because you guys know it is an addiction, right? I mean, you want more and you want more, and sometimes it can get out of control. But we can leave that for another episode on that, because I've got some thoughts on that one myself. Because I'm sure we've all done it. You got to be really, really careful. Get another room. Put this in my second Hot Toys. Membership pending. Oh, sure, Blitzport. I'll take care of you here in just a moment. I appreciate that, man. I think Brother Cousins had to take a moment. But yeah, that's cool, man. Well, that's not cool, actually. I didn't, but it's cool to hear that insight from you, Fabio, because I didn't ever really consider that. I guess people would be like, well, look at all you have. You have so much. You're not going to try to get me at a cheaper price or something like that. And that's tough, man. Toys addiction. I have so many pre-orders. I have to cancel some. Yeah, I think we've all been there. I think we've all been there. Lewis Smith says time to invest in fake mustaches before buying. Oh, great.
First time.
Hell yeah. Pablo, real quick, I'll go ahead and see what you say. He said, what is the one figure you're sorry you sold or missed out on? That's a good question. Let me start with Jay there, man. What I'm sure there's something, right, Jay?
Figure that I sold? Damn. Oh.
Or missed out on.
Tarkin box set. Tarkin and Vader.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Tarkin and Vader box set. And that's the one I missed out on. And one that I sold. And I shouldn't have sold this, but it didn't fit the collection. And at some point, I'm going to get it back in the collection because it's still not super expensive at this point. And that's the Thriller version, Michael Jackson. Yeah, I shouldn't have sold that figure.
Yeah. Wow. Well. Yeah, because that's pretty hard. That's pretty hard to get now, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it. I've seen it at a good price. I got this one that I'm looking at right now, so I'll get it back. It's not a big. But I'm not. I know I really want the Vader and Tarkin box set more because at that time when that box set came out, I think I was into the Back to the Future stuff. Everything was aimed on getting the DeLorean. So when you aim on getting certain grails, you miss other things at that time. And I think it was 2018. I could have got the Tarkin box set, the Tarkin Vader box set, and I just missed out on it completely.
Well, before I ask Fabio, Brett the Movie Guy says, please, to all new collectors, buy what you like, not what the big YouTubers crave because they can afford everything. That is a very valid point. Don't even listen to us. And we're broke. Like it's all about you. Like, what do you think? Like you can watch everybody and you can watch reviews and you can read, you can even read reviews. You can check out photos, everything like that. I think at the end of the day, you want to just make, soak up as much content as you feel is necessary and make an educated, informed decision before you make a purchase, right? Because there is a lot of that. There is a lot of that hype, and go ahead and buy it here. It's at Toys Wonderland, things like that and stuff, or wherever, and everything seems great. But sometimes they're not. So it's good to get second, third, fourth, fifth opinions. And yeah, I know that I couldn't agree more with that on that one, Brett. But is there one for you, Fabio? One that you regret? I mean, have you missed one? I mean, that's
Well, it's funny. I've missed a lot of them, and I usually miss the ones that are Asia release only because I don't know. I back years ago, I wouldn't know where to get them. Everything was only Sideshow, and then if you didn't, if you wanted them from eBay, they were like double the price. So it's like, why am I going to bother? But the one thing, for example, so what Jay said about his Michael Jackson, I have the Thriller Michael Jackson, and I have so I bought 2 bodies for that, but I missed the other ones. If I were to go back right now, and this is why I have it, if you compare a Michael Jackson body to what we're getting now, you're going to be like, why did I even bother?
That's true.
So that's why I'm like, you know what? Why am I spending $500, $600 for a figure that the quality is not going to be there? Yeah, it's not going to be there. I could buy 2 brand new Hot Toys for this price that are going to be better quality, better everything, more relevant at this point than something like that. So that's why I tried not to go back. But the one figure that I do want is that Silly Things Mark 3. Oh man, I want that so bad. And this
looks
actually
so good.
And this I missed, and I just got in the luckiest trade of my life, and I'm so freaking happy because I thought I was never gonna get it because it's like super expensive.
Oh wow! Is that the bronze?
The bronze. Finally, this is. I have the blue one with the porcelain. I got the gold one. I was missing this one. I finally got it 2 days ago. I'm so happy.
That's awesome.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are the three like unique ones that they did.
Right. So I needed this one. I couldn't find it anywhere. I got it in a trade. I was so happy.
That is awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Damn.
Well, Fig Fate said he bought the Boba 2-pack because of you guys. I was 100% not getting it prior to that. No regrets though.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
yeah,
a
but that's the thing though. Like I know me personally, and I know Dante. They don't tell people you need to go get this. They don't. Right. They don't. I know for a fact they don't. We talk about things that we would like ourselves. We show you pictures. That you see pictures. It's up to you guys to buy whatever you want. I don't think anybody's telling you. You need to go get it. We do tell you though, if you're thinking about it, it may sell out. Go get it. But we don't tell you. You need this right now. Like I mean, I'm talking for myself, and I know Dante has never done that. He's a YouTuber. I'm not. So that's why I'm saying this. But I don't think anybody forces anybody to tell people go buy this. I don't think so.
Exactly.
Braden says I buy every figure Fabio tells me about.
I don't tell anybody about figures, so.
No, but you're right. Like, because I mean, I've done it. I have the 2-pack. Jay has the 2-pack, and we were talking about it prior to even getting the Boba 2-pack. That it just looks so phenomenal. And again, to just go off what you're saying, Fabio, it's like we go, oh look, this is amazing. Yeah, this is going to be a grail in the making. You can already tell the sculpt's phenomenal. They don't do 2-packs, blah blah blah. It's going to sell out. All that's true. All that's true. All we're doing, or at least I can't speak for everybody, but all I'm doing is I'm giving you those facts.
Exactly.
And my opinions to go along with that. If you want to buy it, like Fabio said, you probably want to get it sooner rather than later, because sometimes that's the exception, not the rule, right? Because there's things like Lando. Lando's freaking phenomenal. He's still sitting there on Sideshow.
Yep.
And remember when Lando came out, we all talked about Lando, and we were like, dude, it's original trilogy. It's Lando. They're never going to make Lando again. This is going to be a grail, as all original trilogy figures eventually do. If you want to get them, maybe this is your opportunity to get on him. Don't sleep on it. Now, he is still here. That doesn't mean that we're wrong. It just means maybe not a lot of people want him. But if you agreed with everything we just said on that, then that's worth picking up, right? It's a grail. He's original, all that stuff. So it's just, you never know.
On the flip side of that, so did Anakin. So it's here. It's plentiful today. But one day, until it's not, and that's the thing. Until it's not, and it can be one of the. And you can be like me, sitting on the panel, 3 years from now. Man, I should have got Lando. I should have got Lando. I really wanted it. So my thing is this: if you're thinking about it more than once, and you're looking at somebody on a panel, or you're looking at a YouTuber talking about it, and you're looking at videos, and you're thinking about it, get the damn thing. That's my thing. I say that. But don't put, if you can't, but if it comes between you getting brakes on your car or buying the new Lando, you get the damn brakes on your car. Come on,
please.
Who needs brakes?
Yeah, you can use the skateboard. If I die, right?
I can do it myself.
Yeah. Hell yeah. The Toy Box says there's a porcelain trooper on Macari right now. Shane, I don't know if you want to look at it or if it's in your budget, but let's see. Brett also says not one big YouTuber definitely doesn't tell anyone to buy something, but a lot of viewers look up to that YouTuber and get caught into the hype and then end up buying something they don't really want.
Right, but that's their own choice. Nobody's telling them to do it. If they like the person and they like their opinion, then that's their choice. But the big YouTubers not saying go buy this, and if they are, it's not any of us. I don't think.
Yeah.
No,
totally
and don't
agree.
be and don't be fooled into that.
Right.
Really. Because that's it's all about you if you want the figure. Yeah, you're gonna miss out. Look, you're gonna miss out on every figure, guys. It's like you can't get every single figure. There's always gonna be forks in the road along your collecting journey.
There's always gonna be a white whale. It's just that simple.
Always. So, but that is an interesting point because I mean, I see it. I know Fabio. I know you see it. All of a sudden, like, what's the newest figure? Okay, let's say Spider-Man, right? Let's say Spider-Man's coming out next week.
Yep.
The following week, we're gonna see Spider-Man for sale on Facebook groups, Mercari. It's like people buy it and they're like, yeah, I got it, and then they're like, oh, I gotta buy this. I don't really like it, and then they try to sell it.
It's funny you bring that up because, again, over the years, I've also noticed that didn't happen as much, back when I started at all. People were doing a lot more trades than selling their stuff. Now, all you see is people buying and immediately selling for less than retail because obviously, it depends on the figure as well. Because obviously, you get a figure, it sells out, then you're making that money. But if you want, money quickly, you'll be willing to sell it below retail because you're still getting 90 to 95% of what you paid for it. You know what I mean? So it's worth it. But what I noticed the shift was this. People appreciated their figures back then more than they do now. Why? I don't know if it's because they used to make less back then. They're making a lot more now, so they're easier to come by. I mean, they're more expensive, obviously.
Yeah.
But people used to value their stuff. So it was
because there's so much coming out. So yeah,
it was impossible to get a figure below retail. Impossible. Impossible. It was not a thing that was constantly happening. Now you see this all the time. And not only that, but people expect it. They say, and I said this yesterday on where was I? On Dante's stream. They demand, they say they will post in groups looking for this figure. I know it's up for retail, but I'm looking to pay less than that. What does that say? I swear to God, that's a real thing. Mm-hmm. How do you think that portrays the hobby?
Yeah.
So I have to go pay retail so I could give it to you for less, and you're demanding. You're not even asking. You're demanding because you're letting us know. I know that it's up for retail. I'm not paying for that. So I need one of you who paid retail to give it to me. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
That's ridiculous.
And if it wasn't happening, he wouldn't be asking for it. So it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Insane. It's insane. So people need to value.
Insane.
People need to value. You're spending a lot of money on these things to go give it away to somebody else who thinks I don't need to pay for this. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
So when you buy something, if you're gonna buy it and let's say for whatever reason you don't like it, at least try to keep that value for it for the community.
Yes.
Don't ruin it because that's all they're doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I totally agree. I've seen it because I've sold stuff on eBay and I forget what figure it was. It was something I sold recently and I saw somebody else selling it. And I think the general price for it was maybe about $400. But then you see other people trying to sell theirs faster because they may need the money bad. So where it was selling for 400, I saw one guy selling it probably for like $3 something. I'm like, damn, why is he doing that? He's not fucking it up for the rest of us. And then it sells, and we're like, well, damn.
It's very common. That right there, what you just said, is so common that it's going for a certain price, but somebody needs that money. Which again, it's fine. It is what it is. Once in a while, it's fine. But to make that a trend ruins everything.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And look, I mean, the perfect example is here in chat. I mean, look, Maniac UK. I see it all the time on Facebook groups. We'll see people don't want to pay retail. Hugh, there's a lot of posts like that on Facebook. So Fabio's definitely right. I mean, it's crazy, and I don't know if that's because people buy into hype. Is that what it is? And I feel like
I think that people want to be involved in the hobby that is very expensive, but they want to be a part of something. So they'll get a figure or two. You know, some people only have 5 to 10 figures, and that's all they have to be able to say, I'm a collector, I'm in the community. And a lot of those people, believe it or not, are the ones that have the biggest mouths in the community and complain about a lot of things. You don't know what they got collecting wise, but they talk a lot, you know? So that's another thing that, again, I've noticed over the years of collecting. You know, it's just become very obvious that the ones who have the lead, like, you know, I've been collecting for, you know, however many years. You'll never see me or hear me bashing a figure, talking bad about it. It's not my place. If I don't like it, I'm not going to buy it, but I'm not going to sit there, oh, this is wrong and that is wrong. Because if I could make my own figure, then let me go make my own figure. But I'm not going to bash somebody's work that it's, even if it's not flawless, it's pretty close to perfect.
Right.
You know, so my thing is just, you know, keep the value. Like if you're going to be in the community, don't ruin the community. You know what I mean? Like if you're not going to be
kind of try to be considerate about it,
yeah,
right? Because
exactly.
I think I understand what your point of view is, and I don't think not I'm sure there's bad seeds everywhere, but I think that's an interesting point because and honestly, I'm going to ask a real question to the chat. And, you know, feel free to answer truthfully if you'd like, because there's 80 people in here. And I'm wondering, do you guys feel that sometimes, even if you can't afford it, you want to buy that figure right away to just kind of feel like, you know, post pictures and be like, look, I've got the new figure as like a sense of like, do you feel like do you feel like you need to do that to in like Facebook groups or Instagram to show like, hey, I'm a part of this community too, and I just I'm not saying in the bad seed way, but like unintentionally, you just kind of want to be a part of it, and sometimes you're like, oops, maybe I shouldn't have done that, you know, and if that's the case, I would say that's what's great about the streams. You don't have to, if people do that, you know, it's like you can just join groups and discuss figures and join streams and talk with the community and even show pictures of other, you know, like I don't have this, but damn, doesn't this one look cool? You know, things like that I think would be more beneficial to the community overall. And nobody, like, make no mistake, you don't need to, it's like that, blame it on movie stars or musicians or something, whatever you want to call it, where people feel like they have to have all this bling and fancy stuff to have a sense of belonging. And that's absolutely far from the truth, you know, at least with us, you know, and everybody here and people that I choose to associate with. It's that you all belong regardless. Absolutely. If you have one figure, if you have 1,000 figures, if you have no figures, if you're just like, what is this? I really like this. Everybody has a place. So never feel like you have to keep up appearances, especially if you can't.
Exactly. It's not about how much you have. It's just don't ruin it for everybody else.
I totally agree. And I look, and I'll tell you, from when I started doing, like, going and doing real reviews, my channel was changed. From when I started, it was about doing reviews, getting the figures quickly, trying to get, you know, work deals with certain companies in Hong Kong and get those figures quicker and all that other type of stuff, and trying to keep up with the rat races. And this one figure came out, and I love this figure. I don't have this figure, but I love this figure because this figure made me stop. And that was the Spider-Man. It was the Spider-Man video game Spider-Man, the anti-ox. I was going to get that figure and then realized when I was looking at it, why am I going to get this? Because I really don't like it. Oh, but I need to review it. Do I really? Do I really need to review it? I don't want it. I don't like it. It's blank. To me, it's basic as fuck. I don't want it. It's a good figure, but it doesn't appeal to me enough to run out and get it first day one. So what I did from that point on, I was like, well, why don't I just go ahead and talk about it? And now that's what my channel becomes more. I'll talk about the figures and say, I like the figure. I like this. I like how they executed that. Yeah. So I didn't have to go run out and grab it just so I can review it. No, if I run, and I do get some things early, like I went and got the Boba Fett 2-pack early because I really wanted it. It appealed to me.
Really wanted it.
I really wanted it.
You really wanted it.
I felt that I needed the views. I did it for the views and the hype and to get the channel popping.
Right,
hell
that's the
with all
wrong.
that.
Right, exactly. You
Nobody
want
cares
it,
about
you
that.
get it.
Yeah.
Uncommon flexes, I have definitely had that before, but now I focus on what I really want. And it's true that can happen. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Cobra's Clicks has never bought to show off on the gram, but I have bought when I needed new brakes. Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, and I'm sure Desi, you agree with that sentiment as well, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You gotta, but I've always said for in life in general, never blame others. Always try to look at what you've done. Like, look inward. That's what I do. And I say that in reference to YouTubers. Like, some people will say, oh, because the YouTuber made me buy it. Like, really? Like,
the
yes,
devil made me do it.
Look,
It's
some
like,
some of these reviews may be very appealing, and they might influence you to buy stuff. But there's also an equal amount of reviews that tell you don't buy this. Did you not buy it because of that? Like, I just a little earlier I said don't get grievance. Don't listen to me. If you like it, get it. There's a lot of my friends that I was like, nah, man, I would never get that, and they're like, well, I like it. And I'll be like, awesome, dude, you win.
No.
Like, you do you, right? But don't blame it at not only YouTubers. Like, if you see a product review on TV on an episode of Top Gear, if you like that car, get it, even if they said it wasn't good. But you do you.
Plus, like,
Right.
also, like that's just saying, if you like it, that's your choice. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Get it. If you want it, get it. But the thing is, like I was saying before, you'll buy it just to say, I got it. And then just to get rid of it 2, 3 days, 4 days, a week later. What is the point of that? You know what I mean? Like, that's what, like, I don't get. Because you're buying something that you're not going to keep anyway, but you're going to take pictures of it, pretend like you have, like you're collecting, but then I see you in the group, that you're getting rid of it already. It's like, so, you know what I mean? So it's, to me, that's like insane.
Yeah, I agree.
That's true, and I mean, and that's awesome. Everybody's really responsive in the chat with this, and that's really good to see that most everybody says, you know what, I get what I want to get, and I think everybody values multiple opinions.
And another point, you hop on these streams, and we're all super excited about collecting. You know what I mean? Like, this is what we do. So of course, every figure is going to be a great figure. So if you're watching this, you're going to be like, oh my God, I need to get it because they all love it. But what you need to do is, if you're on the fence about it, go and search why not to get, or what problems did the figure come with, or things like that, and then decide. But if you're watching, collectors be excited about collecting, like, that's, we're going to be biased, period.
That is true. I mean, unless it was something, but that's the weird thing. The only time I won't be is if we're on a panel. And that's what's great about having multiple points of view within one show, because you may be such a fan of Marvel and you're like, this new Iron Man, hell yeah, this looks badass, I'm definitely getting it. And then I'm over here on the panel and I'm like, you know what? It looks great, but I don't want it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's not my jam. Or maybe I don't like the way it looks. Maybe I think it looks chintzy or something. And we'll say that. So it's like, yeah, a lot of us do have this fandom where we're like, hell yeah, because we're collectors. We're just like you guys, So of course when we see it, we're like, yeah, that's badass. I want to get it.
But yeah, even if you don't like the figure, for example, pick any figure in your head, right? So you see the figure, there's the figure. Now, there are more positives, there are negatives on any figure, period. That's just how it is. So yeah, you're going to have the one person who's going to say, I don't like this of the figure. Perfectly fine. You're going to have the majority saying, we like this figure. So yeah, you're going to have disagreements, which is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But the majority of people will always want the figure more than they won't. And that's what I guess they're trying to say.
Luminar's comment said somebody should create a figure renting company for those people that resell quickly.
That's a really good idea.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
6 months lease. Yeah.
You want to rent it so you can get on the gram, take some photo. No, I'm just kidding. Like, and bring it back. I know, and it's hard though, because I think I don't, like I said, I don't think everybody does this with ill intentions. I think you know, a lot of people want to feel that sense of belonging, and you know, because especially here, and I'm gonna final thoughts on this is because, as we all know, I'm sure, and everybody in the chat, or probably most people in the chat, this is a very unique collecting situation, right? Where most of our friends or family, they don't really get it, right? They don't get it. They're like, what the hell? You got this? I'm like, yo, did you see that new Boba Fett head sculpt? They're like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like they don't understand it. So it feels I think there's a little bit more of a desire to want to feel like validated in a way, right? Like, hey, and you don't need that. You don't need to be validated, right? I mean, there's a huge community out here. Nobody's alone, you know what I'm saying? And you don't have to feel like you belong. You just watching right now makes you belong. And that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to leave it on that note for my opinion. So and it seems like everybody's kind of in agreements here in the chat. It's good discussion, guys. It really is. I think though we can go ahead and wrap that though, right? We're 2.5 hours, man. We've had a lot of discussion. Again, I thought we're gonna kind of have fun, let loose, but this is fun. It's just we were talking some serious conversation here, and I think that's people need to hear that though, and people want to listen to that. If you guys like that kind of us getting more real, let me know. Let me know in the comments, guys, in the chat, because you know it is. Yeah, and it's supposed to be fun, but it's also supposed to be, like you said, informative as well, because there are a lot of new collectors coming in the game, and it's cool having veterans like Fabio. You've been collecting forever, clearly. You know, things like that. Everybody here, we've all been collecting, or we've been involved in the game, and you learn things. You know, you make mistakes. You evolve into, and it's good to have that kind of insight. So, anyway, let me bring up Desi here, man, because as you may or may not know, Desi, I'm gonna full screen your ass. That's what I'm gonna
Go
do.
for it, man.
There you go.
There I am.
Desi was doing some awesome stuff prior. I'm gonna just kind of bring this one in for you. But now he started his own YouTube channel. Link, of course, is in the description of the video. Why don't you tell everybody who doesn't know what your channel's all about? Yeah, and round of applause, by the way. Congratulations, man.
Thank you so much. And what I'm doing is I've been making dioramas for myself for years now. Small dioramas, larger dioramas. I have a background in making like terrain for wargaming, and even customizing figures, and working for a couple of toy companies. So I started making dioramas, and then last year I started commissioning some dioramas for Hot Toys and 6-scale figures. So I said, you know what, I kind of want to make a YouTube channel all about the dioramas I make and the process, right? Because I've always liked the creative process and getting people involved in that process, especially if you're sitting around waiting for pre-orders and you don't know what to do. That's when it gets dangerous, because then that's when you start spending more money on other figures you would never spend money on, just because you have that itch. It's like, well, stop. Like, why don't you do something else? Why don't you, like, hey, work on your display case, or start crafting a diorama, right? So I wanted to do that, show the process off, and just show the people what I do, and hopefully get you inspired to work on something, either on a diorama or on the figure, customize it. It makes it more unique. It's fun, and I can't recommend it enough. It's another facet of the hobby. So if you can check my channel out, please.
He posts the dial that you made every chance he gets.
Yeah, that making that Beetlejuice house, that was awesome. That's something I never thought I would make. House.
Okay, wait a minute. So so you made the Beetlejuice. All right.
Yeah. I made that Beetle. That was new. I never done anything like that. It was a miniature house, and it came out awesome. His picture was great. It was a good experience.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Let me. Well, what do you else got? Will you have anything going on currently, like upcoming?
Yeah, well, I dropped a video last night on how I made Fabio's base, which I'm going to be shipping out to him shortly. The whole process is there, and I'm going to be dropping hopefully another video later this week on. Actually, I just mentioned it, on how to take care of the leather components of your toys. That's not a diorama video. That's completely contrary to that, but I thought it's important. Because there's a lot of people talking about it. We just talked about it now, so I'm going to be dropping that video later this week. And I'm also going to be doing a giveaway for a small base topper, and I'm making a video for that with the instructions on how to participate. That will also be later this week.
Awesome, bro. And once again, dude, pleasure having you on as always.
Thank you for the invite. Appreciate it, man.
Of course. Please, guys, go check out Desi's channel. You're doing some awesome stuff.
Thank you.
And you know, you got commissions going on too. So, you know, people hit him up, man. He makes awesome stuff. So
Thank you, man.
you're very welcome. This Mr. Man right here, Fabio. What's going on? I'm glad you were finally able to come on tonight, brother.
Yes, thank you.
Awesome conversation.
Yes,
Hell
thank you
yes.
for having me. Like I said, we've been trying to get me here for a while. So yeah, my channel, if you guys would just want to take a look at some figures, FabsFigures on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. So just check it out.
That's it.
That's it.
All right. Well, I was trying to get a link for Desi. So why don't you just say hi to everybody really quick?
So another thing, my collection tour, part 3 is up.
There
It's
you
been up
go.
for like 2 weeks. If you guys haven't watched it, check it out. What else? Yeah, I still have a bunch of unboxings to do. I've had boxes for about like 2 weeks here that I haven't opened yet. I have Miles Morales that I gotta open. This Chrome Trooper. Yeah, so I got a bunch of stuff coming on the channel as well. So stay tuned for that.
Hell yeah. I accidentally I forgot because Desi, your channel is fairly new. I have your Instagram in the link, so I have to re-update my template there. So
No
apologies.
worries, man.
Desi's channel is now in the chat. You guys go ahead and check that out ASAP. Jay, brother cousin,
Hey,
my man,
hey.
my brother from another mother. What is
Yo.
up? You need no introduction. You're always here. I'm always there. We are 2 peas in a pod, my friend. But what's
Basically.
going on with you, brother?
Man, nothing. I mean, well, got best of the best. We're gonna do Wednesday this week. So we got that coming up, and I got a collection tour video coming out soon. I'm still working on that. I've been slacking on that. That should have been out weeks ago, but I'm putting that together, and I got some stuff, some new figures and stuff coming in that I'm probably gonna be doing a review on at some point. And that's it for me right now. Yeah, that's it.
Hell yeah, brother. Always a pleasure having you on.
Thank you for having me, bro. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
of course. And you know, we've got some stuff in the works here too.
Yes,
I got a
yes, we
show
do.
working on. We're not going to get into too much detail with it yet, but it's going to be pretty cool. I think people are really going to get into it. I will say next week. Well, first of all, thanks for everybody again for helping me get to that 1,000 subscriber mark. I definitely appreciate it, especially people who have recently subscribed and don't know me and what the channel's about. So I definitely appreciate it. I don't want to let anybody down. Looking forward to a lot of fun stuff this year. Next Saturday, though, however, we are going to be doing same time, basically 7 days from now. Next Saturday, we'll do the stream, and that's going to be the giveaway for the IG11, the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. So if you haven't already, I'm letting you guys know now. If you go to my channel, it's the highlighted video. If you're already subscribed, it may not pop up as the highlighted video, but there's big letters, big thumbnail, IG11 giveaway. Check out that video. Listen to what I have to say. All you have to do is comment on that video. Tell me what you like about the channel, and that will be the video that we're going to pull a comment from randomly on next week's stream, and the winner will also have to be in the stream. If you can't get to the stream, let me know. Reach out to me. You can get to me obviously in the Facebook group or Instagram, anywhere. Get a hold of me. Let me know. Hey, I can't attend next Saturday or something, and that's fine. You know, if you win, cool. But I want everybody to participate. It's about the community. I'm trying to give back to the community. If you're not really a part of the community and you're just clicking on it to try to get a free figure, it's not, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be fair for everybody. So please check that out. And that's it, man. A lot of people in the chat, man. Thanks everybody. It's really hard to go through all the chat, but everybody who knows, you know, we all appreciate you. We all love you, man. It's all fun. It's good to be able to talk about these things. And yeah, I think that'll probably be it. Well, tomorrow, actually, I should tell you tomorrow we're going to do the posing review on my channel with Mario. If you guys aren't already familiar with that, we've been going through the line. We're going through Rogue One, and tomorrow we're going to be doing the Short Trooper. But not only the Short Trooper, we're going to do all 3 Short Troopers. So that should be pretty fun. You know, it's kind of like typically a retrospective, you know, unbox kind of review of, you know, the older figures. But since we got 2 new troopers of shore troopers, we're going to do it. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. So
I'll be watching
anyway, that's it. Any final thoughts, gentlemen?
Said it all.
All right. Then, my friends, you guys have a safe weekend, and we'll see you later. Peace.